In 1985, Hong Kong was full of ups and downs. Hou Wenjun, who rose from Guantang, gradually became the largest tycoon in Hong Kong. He was not a grassroots hero, but a generation of heroes. He has countless prefixes in front of his name, including the big shots of Liansheng, the real estate tycoons of the new territories, and the global hotel tycoons, but his favorite is still the character, Xiao Xiong. I hereby declare that this is not the real world, please do not associate it with the real world. The world in this book is a blend of Chinese and foreign police and bandit action movies, and the timeline may not necessarily be calculated according to the time in the movie. Dewey has created a QQ group. 3731588027, welcome everyone to communicate. Brothers, you can come in and chat when you have free time. The regular group is almost full, and now a VIP group has been opened, which can be considered a group for sending benefits to legitimate readers. Group ID, 4811225562 keywords of the novel. 1985 Xiangjiang Xiaoxiong no pop-ups, 1985 Xiangjiang Xiaoxiong TXT complete collection download, 1985 Xiangjiang Xiaoxiong latest chapter reading. 1. Chapter 1 Payment. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Boss, come pack Marlboro. Hou Wenjun stood at the entrance of the Sherduo store and shouted to the boss inside who was listening to the horse race. Little rascal, it's 20 yuan per pack. Here's the money. The boss saw Hou Wenjun at the door and said he didn't really want to do his business. This kind of rascal came to buy cigarettes in broad daylight without studying hard. Of course, if it were anyone else and the boss wouldn't dare to speak so aggressively, Hou Wenjun is the neighbor who grew up watching him grow up and become a rotten guy. The boss picked up a bag of Marlboro from the counter and handed it to Hou Wenjun, feeling very unhappy as he said, Wenjun, please don't buy cigarettes from me anymore. Your mother will talk to me again when she sees it. Minors should go to school to study. Do you imagine your uncle squatting in such a small shop for generations? Hou Wenjun didn't speak, just smiled. While taking out 20 yuan from his body and throwing it on the counter, he skillfully lit a cigarette handed over by the boss and walked out of the Sherduo store with a swagger. Hou Wenjun walked to the entrance of Merino Middle School at the end of the street and lay on the roadside railing waiting for the school to finish. Hou Wenjun is a name that has been caught off guard, and there are not 10,000 or 8,000 people in Hong Kong who call him Wenjun. 2 years ago, he was still a well-behaved student at school, but the sudden death of Lao Do made him have to support his own home. He also doesn't want to become a bad guy, but unfortunately in this era of rampant Hong Kong triad, everything he does has the shadow of a triad. Hou Wenjun, who wanted to help alleviate the burden on his family, started doing a small business at school, such as buying a pack of cigarettes and splitting them up before reselling them to classmates who couldn't afford a whole pack. This practice is commonly known as selling loose cigarettes. For example, helping a few classmates with good family conditions with homework can earn a few dollars a day. Unfortunately, the good times didn't last long. Hou Wenjun, a small money-making expert, was targeted by small thugs outside of school. His experience of being robbed after school for 13 consecutive days made him understand what the underground order in Hong Kong was during this period. He, who lives in Kwun Tong, Kowloon, cannot escape the harassment of the underworld unless he moves to the city center of Hong Kong Island to attend a high-end private school. At the age of 15 or 6 in 1983, he was unable to resist the harassment of these club thugs. Hou Wenjun, who doesn't want to be a tool for making money for these scumbags, grabbing you every day, hitting you if you don't have money, and having to help them make money if you don't want to be beaten, has finally turned himself into an old-fashioned troublemaker like them. He has become a peripheral troublemaker like Ma Wangbua, who is boasting about things with the people in Liansheng Wan Chai district. With the power of boasting and the subordinates sent by Ma Wangbua, he cleaned up several small thugs who had been robbing him of money before and gradually became the so-called boss at Merino Middle School. Time shifted back to Hou Wenjun, who was only a few months old in 1985. Just as it was time for school to end, several students wearing school uniforms rushed out of the school gate, all of whom were the younger brothers that Hou Wenjun had taken in the past 2 years. The leading figure in this group is Chen Jichao, one of Hou Wenjun's 4 great horsemen, who is famous for his ability and courage to fight in school. Hou Wenjun, who has grown up to be wise and supported by Ma Wanbua since childhood, can easily win over these 17 and 8-year-old students. The So. Called 4 great kings under his command are the ones who perform well in this group. De Zai, Chen Jichao, De Jia Tu, Liao Shuzhen, Xiao Qiu, Enjiqiu, Si Yen, Zhang Jiarong. Among them, De Zai, Chen Jichao is mainly responsible for leading his younger brother to fight and maintaining order on campus. When conflicts arise with thugs outside the school, Chen Jichao is responsible for leading people to deal with them. Sister Liao Shuzhen, along with a few little girls and obedient students at school, is mainly responsible for helping him earn money, selling cigarettes, doing homework, extorting pocket money from students, and so on. At night, I was leading people to set up a street stall or something. Qiu Qiu. Enjiqiu is the owner of this group of people. His father has 2 small gold shops in Guantang, and as a 3rd-generation single-pass player, Qiu Qiu's daily allowance is indispensable. He has been extorted by thugs outside the school before. After Hou Wenjun gained fame, he voluntarily threw it into his account and provided soda, snacks and other services for this group on campus every day. When the money is high, he can also take everyone to improve their lunch. 4 eyes. Zhang Jiarong, whose parents died since childhood, grew up with this grandmother and was often bullied at school. Hou Wenjun accepted him and picked him up, mainly responsible for helping this group hide their weapons at home. If anything happens, he is the best candidate recommended by Hou Wenjun to take the blame. To be honest, Hou Wenjun is not a good person. Since he was independent from a young age, he has long been accustomed to the dark side of society. Since Hong Kong's club culture is prevalent now, if you want to avoid being bullied, you need to adapt to this culture. If you want to stand out, you need to understand how to survive in the rules. He doesn't have the protagonist aura in novels, he doesn't get beaten when reading, everyone calls him the boss, money falls from the sky, and celebrities are casually inserted. The father of this family died of illness early, and the mother, Hou Shufen, was not in good health. She could only do handicrafts at home. Hou Wenjun also had an older sister, Hou Wenhui, who was 1 year older than him. Previously, both siblings had good academic performance, but unfortunately, the heavy burden of the family made her almost have to go to the nightclub to make a living and earn money to support her family. Fortunately, I followed Ma Wanbua. This person is quite good. I know that Hou Wenjun's family conditions are not good, and usually when Jun's social status is just a matter of meaning, which has made the family much more comfortable. Of course, the reason why Ma Wanbua is called Ma Wanbua is also because this guy has made a lot of profit from horse racing and has not paid much attention to the several hundred yuan that Hou Wenjun has paid. Therefore, every month after Hou Wenjun pays 1,080 yuan, Ma Wanbua has to draw 1,000 yuan to reward Hou Wenjun for helping his family. 1,000 yuan in 1985 is not a small amount in Hong Kong. The monthly salary for college graduates is only 2,000 to 3,000 yuan, and the monthly salary for factory workers is even less than 2,000 yuan. Not everyone's house is like a ball, with at least 100 yuan of pocket money every day. After Hou Wenjun threw the cigarette to Chen Jichao and asked him to smoke it, he took these little brothers together and waited for the others to come out. In less than a minute, Liao Shuzhen, Xiao Qiu, Si Yen and others also walked out of the school gate one after another. June, this is today's account for 378 yuan, please order a little. Liao Shuzhen, who came out first, walked up to Hou Wenjun and offered a kiss before saying. At the age of 18, Liao Shuzhen has developed well and her facial features are also quite delicate. There are many young thugs outside of school who want to flirt with her, and of course, she has become one of Hou Wenjun's favorites. Well, take 200 yuan, and then take some clothes and bags for your little sisters at night. Remember to take some more underpants. Hou Wenjun took the money and then took 200 yuan out of it to Liao Shuzhen. Yeah, long live Yunga. Yunga is so kind, kiss him. Upon hearing Hou Wenjun's words, Liao Shuzhen and the few little girls she came out with immediately gathered around Hou Wenjun, shouting and making noise. Hou Wenjun also smiled and dealt with them. These little girls are Hou Wenjun's current money-making tools. A few months ago, Hou Wenjun came up with two good ideas, one of which is to let these girls sell their underwear. The underwear, which cost less than 3 yuan, was sold by him for 20 yuan per piece. The temptation of such vulgar tactics to these teenagers who are still in their adolescence can be imagined, as schools with 2,000 to 3,000 people can sell more than 10 in a day. This made Hou Wenjun, who used to earn only a few tens of yuan a day, become wealthy overnight. Hou Wenjun, who was wealthy, generous in his actions, and able to cover up the backstage, quickly gathered a group of bad guys around him and dominated the only 2 high schools in Guantang district. Accompanied by more than a dozen paparazzi and Tai Mei, Hou Wenjun led his team towards the tea restaurant where he usually eats dinner. There was also a younger brother from another high school under his control waiting to hand over the numbers to him. Xiangji is Hou Wenjun's current headquarters. The owner here is Chang Gu, a former subordinate of his boss Ma Wanghua. After marrying a wife from mainland China, Chang Gu, who was able to fight back then, gradually faded out of the martial arts world and returned to Guantang to open this tea restaurant. The influence of Hou Wenjun's boss is mainly concentrated in the Wan Chai area, and Chang Gu in Guantang is considered a flag of his boss. Ah Jun, here you are. Xiao Wei and the others are all waiting for you upstairs. As soon as Hou Wenjun entered the store, Sister Chang behind the counter immediately greeted him. In the past few months, Hou Wenjun has been the biggest customer of Changji. Every evening, Hou Wenjun brings his little brother to the store to eat, spending 200 to 300 yuan each time, making him the largest diner of Changji. My sister.in.law is getting more and more beautiful. Tell brother Chang, I'll go up first. Hou Wenjun said a few words before going straight up to the second floor. In fact, what Xiangji called the second floor is just adding an extra floor in the first floor facade. The area of the second floor is less than half that of the first floor, only about 10 square meters, and there are only 3 tables on it, which can accommodate more than 10 or 20 people. After Hou Wenjun walked up the second floor, Zhang Jiehui stood up with his younger brother and greeted him with Jun Gu and Jun Gu. Zhang Jiehui is a younger brother recruited by Hou Wenjun from another St. Lino middle school in Guantang, helping him do business in St. Lino. After waiting for Wenjun to sit on the middle chair, everyone found their own seats to sit on. Zhang Jiehui also took the initiative to sit next to Hou Wenjun and said, Jun, this is today's number, 402 yuan. After receiving the money, Hou Wenjun put it in his pocket without counting and turned to several young girls at San Lino Middle School, saying, Today, you will follow Sister Liao to pick up some clothes and start work at the night market on time tonight. Eat quickly, and then take B and a few to your house to pick up goods. First, go to the night market and set up the stall. I also have to cross the sea tonight. These 20 or so people on the second floor of Changji are currently the most helpful subordinates of Hou Wenjun. These people not only help him sell underwear or do homework at school during the day, but also help him work at the night market selling clothes, bags, jewelry, and so on. This capitalist's management style is even darker than that of the underworld. Of course, it's not for them to do it in vain. Every week, he also distributes a little money to each person, and each time he receives only a few hundred or so yuan in pocket money. Got it, Yunga. Got it. After the four-eyed group answered, Wenjun began to order from Sister Chang, who was following up to prepare the order, and instructed Sister Chang to serve the meal ordered by the four-eyed group first. After everyone boasted about it for a while, Hou Wenjun asked Xiao Xiong and a few others to go down and help Mrs. Chang pick up food. When waiting for Wenjun's braised pork to be served, for eyes and several people had already finished eating and were ready to go to pick up goods to set up a stall. This is also where Hou Wenjun is smart. Every time he eats, he always gives in to his brothers first, and fights first. Of course, the last time he personally fought was to smooth out the mess of San Lino. Since then, Hou Wenjun has never touched his hands again. The club's signboard sounded, the big shots had a strong reputation, and he was also very eye-catching. Hou Wenjun gradually gained some fame in Guantang. He doesn't like to be seen as a member of the club, but currently he doesn't have the brand of Liansheng or boasting. He wants to make money instead of becoming someone else's tool for making money, so he can't get rid of this layer of skin. I don't believe it. If he weren't with Ma Wanbo, his subordinates might not have handed him the numbers every day or kept most of them hidden, only handing over a small portion to him. This is reality. The night pot is dirty and smelly, but you have to use it. After finishing the meal, Hou Wenjun asked his younger brothers to change their school uniforms and put on casual clothes to start work at the night market, while he took Chen Jichao and a few other young men to prepare to go to Ma Wanbo's Tuadi for math. Chapter 2. A Goods. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ma Wanbo's land on the Causeway Bay side requires crossing the sea every time he goes for transportation, making transportation in Hong Kong in 1985 extremely inconvenient. If you want to go to the sea, you must board the ship from Guantang Typhoon Shelter to Beijiao Ferry Terminal and then transfer to a bus. It takes at least 2 hours to get there once. Hou Wenjun is not an official member of Liansheng, and Ma Wanbo has also entrusted him with a venue or something. 1,080 yuan per month is not a real payment, it can only be considered as the premium paid to Ma Wanbo. Last time I borrowed troops from him and used the banner of winning with Liansheng, so I had to explain to the company. When he officially joins, he doesn't need to pay 1,080 yuan per month. By the time Wenjun arrived at Causeway Bay with a few younger brothers, it was already over 8 p.m. Usually, at this time, Wang Bo, the waiting horse, is playing cards in the mahjong parlor. He actually handles business after midnight. The mahjong parlor in the 1980s was not a good place, as the smell of sweat and smoke mixed together to create a nauseating odor. Fortunately, Ma Wanbo usually played cards in more upscale private rooms. Hou Wenjun led his people through the ordinary hall in front of him and walked to the private room area. The gatekeeper saw Hou Wenjun and smiled, saying, "Ah Jun, come and see the big shot. I heard that your son has overturned the Guantang now." Huang Wenbin did not rush to answer, but looked at the other thugs standing at the door. These people were not Ma Wanbo's younger brothers, there should be other big shots inside. "Brother Bin, you're smoking now." Hou Wenjun then took a bag of Marlboro from his body and scattered a piece for the gatekeeper Huang Wenbin, lighting it for him. "What kind of oil can there be in Guantang? Is the boss inside?" After taking a deep breath of his cigarette, Huang Wenbin chuckled twice before continuing, "Jun, you're not honest. The boss is inside, you can go in by yourself, they'll stay." He pointed to the younger brother behind Hou Wenjun. "I'll go first, Brother Haobin," Hou Wenjun said to Huang Wenbin and gave him a small command before directly pushing the door over Huang Wenbin and entering the private room. Hou Wenjun's guess is correct. In the private room, he not only saw Ma Wanbo but also saw the gossip about Liansheng Wan Chai, his boss's boss. I don't quite know the other two, but judging by their aura, they should also be big shots from the same side. Hou Wenjun walked into the private room and called out, "Boss, Uncle Chicken." After greeting Ma Wanbo and blowing chicken, he took the initiative to stand behind Ma Wanbo. He is a 42-year-old veteran of the martial arts world, boasting with people from Liansheng Wan Chai. It is said that his voice was the highest in this year's and Liansheng's biennial official elections. The entire Wan Chai area is about to be unified and won by him, and his leader, Ma Wanbo, is the largest peripheral horse king in Hong Kong. He is currently the strongest force in the joint victory. Before Ma Wanbo could speak, he boasted and pointed directly at Hou Wenjun, pointing to the other two masters at the mahjong table, saying, "Ah, Jun is here. This is our hot topic with Liansheng, and this is a cold guy from the uncle generation." Hou Wenjun obediently called out Uncle Bao, Uncle Leng, and prepared to stop talking and watch his boss play cards. Who knew that the boastful chicken didn't let Hou Wenjun go and continued, "This is the most outstanding handsome guy in my younger generation, Hou Wenjun, Junzi, the rising star of Guantang." As soon as Chuiji finished speaking, Chuan Bao looked at Hou Wenjun and continued, "I know you, Hou Wenjun. A few months ago, I pulled out the flag of Chang'e in Guantang. The former leader of Xingli Noa Middle School was the younger brother of the Chang'e Society's Guantang district gossip. Chang'e can be considered a sunset club, and the whole club now has less than a few thousand people. The gossip in Guantang, Paparazzi Bo, is even less popular. It took 9 years of old martial arts to become a grass shoe guarding 2 mahjong parlors and a small gambling stall. Hou Wenjun borrowed troops from Ma Wangbua to sweep away Chang'e in Guantang district. Their old top black star has even come to see me, and their offspring are not bad. To be honest, Chuan Pao is quite envious of boasting. Before the rise of his horse Wang Bo, his boasting was nothing compared to Liansheng. Otherwise, he would have been sitting in a restaurant 2 years ago. Now his subordinate Ma Wangbua has become the largest peripheral horse king in Hong Kong. Even his younger brother, who is 17 or 8 years old, can sweep people's land and raise people's flags. In the next term, if he is allowed to sit for 2 years, he may become his own family in the future. Hou Wenjun appeared very low-key in front of Chuan Bao and others, and in the face of Chuan Bao's praise, he only smiled and did not speak. Ma Wangbua saw his uncle sitting there praising his horse and feeling very happy. 2 years ago, when he needed help to promote his peripheral business, he took in Hou Wenjun, who lived in Guantang. He didn't pay much attention to Hou Wenjun and let him develop on his own. Who would have known that this guy has been doing well in the Guantang area for the past year, and now he has even heard of his reputation for being a fan of Liansheng. "Alright, Ajuan, you can go back. Our uncles still have to play cards. Let's talk about anything tomorrow." Ma Wangbua waved his hand and asked Hou Wenjun to leave the private room first. The elders sitting inside were not the ones he had access to now, which could only be considered as peripheral ones. "Okay, boss, then I'll leave first." Hou Wenjun said hello and walked out directly. "Blow the chicken, you're so imposing now, even my little brother has stood out." This is the last thing Hou Wenjun heard before leaving, probably from the cold guy who didn't speak just now. After chatting with Huang Wenbin after leaving the house, Hou Wenjun took his little brother back to Guantang. By the time they rushed back to the night market in Guantang, it was already 11 p.m., which was also the last lively moment in the night market. The bustling crowd shuttled back and forth in this small street, and various cries of selling kept coming and going. Hou Wenjun and his group set up stalls on the street, at the end of the street, and in the middle, specializing in selling A-grade leather bags and clothing. In this night market street, which is less than 500 meters long, there are at least 7 or 8 clubs where people work and eat. These low-level members of the club are not as glamorous as in later movies. Everyone joined the club just to avoid being bullied and receiving protection fees, and most of them are neighbors of Guantang. Although they live and eat in different units, they still take care of each other before joining. Even Chang'e, which had been swept by Hou Wenjun before, had someone set up a stall inside, and everyone continued to do their own business without offending the river. "Ah Jun, come and discuss something." Hou Wenjun was stopped by Hong Xing's younger brother, Shanji, just as he walked outside the night market street. "Master Chicken, what are you doing? Why aren't you looking for my sister?" Hou Wenjun walked over and joked as he heard the mountain chicken's greeting. Seeing Hou Wenjun coming over, the mountain chicken happily gathered around him and leaned on his shoulder, saying, "Ah Jun, these goods are selling well. Nan Ji's intention is to ask you to bring some goods to sell. Come on, that's all for this batch of goods." Everyone has already finished dividing them. Let's wait for the next time. By the way, what about Haonan? Why didn't you see him? Hou Wenjun slapped the hand of the pheasant on his shoulder and said. The mountain chicken was shrugged off by Hou Wenjun and said indifferently, Nan Gu and De Tianer are selling clothes inside. I heard that your boss is going to choose a restaurant with Liansheng this year, and then your handsome brother will have a strong presence. Damn it, it's not that my boss Ma Wanbo chose to sit in the restaurant. I'm so imposing, maybe one day I'll step on your Hongqing territory and have a fight. I'll go in first, and there's also a dead mountain chicken. If you dare to fuck my little sister again, be careful, I'll castrate you. After shaking his head, Hou Wenjun ignored him and walked directly to the night market. Shanji and his boss Chen Haonan were all students of Merino Middle School before, and they were still in the same grade as Hou Wenjun, but in the same class. These people, like Hou Wenjun, have joined the club and become peripheral members of Hongxing after not studying. Those like them who have not yet officially joined the club are called Blue Lanterns. Usually, it is necessary to wait for 1 or 2 years of investigation with the leader before the official initiation ceremony of the incense hall is held for them. When he walked into the night market, almost every stall person would loudly greet him, and the greetings of Jun and Jun Gu were imperceptible. It's not that Hou Wenjun is amazing, but that most of the vendors and night market visitors here are his neighbors and other vendors who come to him to pick up goods. His family lives in the Tang building in the middle of this night market street. Sister Hou Wenhui also helps sell things at this stall in the middle of the night market. This stall is considered the best and largest location in the Guantang night market street. Watching the scene of the old lady shouting and selling things with her subordinates, Hou Wenjun felt that joining the club was not a bad thing. At least the older sister didn't have to go to Chinese cities to be a miss just to make ends meet. Hou Wenjun's older sister, Hou Wenhui, is 19 years old this year, 1 year older than him. She is now a freshman in the Department of Law at the University of Hong Kong. At a height of 168, with flowing long hair and delicate facial features, it looks so pure and charming, somewhat like one miling from the 83 version of the Legend of the Condor Heroes. Ah June, you're back. Where did you cross the sea again today? In the gap between doing business, my sister Hou Wenhui greeted Hou Wenjun with a smile. Well, how's business today? Hou Wenjun didn't really want to talk to his sister about the club, so he immediately turned the topic to business. Hou Wenhui also knew that he didn't want to stick to the club, so she followed his words and said, this batch of bags is almost sold out. Don't you know that many white-collar workers from Hong Kong Island are coming by boat to buy bags now? I don't know how good the business is, we've sold more than 10 bags tonight. In 1985, goods in Hong Kong had not yet begun to flood, and Hou Wenjun was one of the earliest people to make goods. He specifically went to a clothing factory in Tsuen Wan to have them produce the most popular branded clothes or leather bags of the year, and then brought them back to Guantang to sell. However, due to the limited scale of this garment factory, he can't produce much each time. Now he is considering whether to open his own garment factory to expand production scale. After wandering around the night market with Hou Wenjun, it was already 12 o'clock and the crowd slowly dispersed. Each household also began to put away their stalls. After Hou Wenjun received the money from tonight's sale and the remaining goods, he took his elder sister and younger brothers to the food stall to have a late-night snack. Even though it's Friday today, there are only a dozen or so young men in the team from the afternoon to the end of work now. A few obedient children have gone home early to do their homework, and some of the younger brothers and sisters who have strict tutoring have also returned. The rest are basically some of the subordinates who are not very concerned about the family or just want to follow Hou Wenjun. These people are his backbone. Chapter 3. Big D. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After everyone gathered around 2 tables and sat down, many people from other clubs and night markets came to the table next to them to have supper. As soon as Hou Wenjun sat down, the leaders of other clubs also followed him and came to pick up the goods. June, I've sold out all the goods here, you can give them to me more evenly, said a 30-something-old waterhouse man with a big mouth, sitting beside Hou Wenjun. Yes, June, you have stock now, and mine is almost sold out, continued Tian Wenqi, the number assistant at the table next to you. Hou Wenjun now understands that he has found a big financial path and must open a clothing factory to expand production. Everyone, big shots, I'm almost out of stock. At the latest, I'll run out of stock on my end tomorrow. Where do you want me to find goods for you? If we don't ship the goods from our previous company, I can only do it and see that I can't make any money. Hou Wenjun is an ambitious person, but he also has a mind that he never eats alone, at most he only eats big heads. Just like selling products to others now, although I earn less, I sell them quickly and earn money quickly. I can also make friends with people from other clubs. Like in the previous sweep of Changle's venue, not to mention other clubs helping Changle beat him, even Changle's own people were playing tricks and soy sauce, allowing Hou Wenjun to easily sweep away paparazzi and become famous. For example, the person in front of me was the one who exposed the foundation of how paparazzi Bo arranged his troops to Hou Wenjun at that time. June, you know how I treat you, and next time you say something, you should also bring me more goods. The former younger brother of paparazzi Bo, Lan Minghui, said that Changle's influence in the Guantang area was basically defeated by Hou Wenjun, and the market was also blocked by the strong pig oil sent by Ma Wangbua. The current rotten fate Hui is said to be the younger brother of Changle, but he was already prepared to bow down to the strong hands of pig oil, so he waited for Liansheng to establish a strong position for pig oil before opening the door. Facing rotten Minghui, Hou Wenjun really can't say anything harsh. This guy can be considered half of his own, Huaij, I'm here. Don't worry. As soon as Hou Wenjun finished speaking, Chen Haonan also walked over with his younger brother. Chen Haonan and Hou Wenjun are the two most prominent young people in Guantang this year. Hou Wenjun, who has a lot of money, is considered a brain-eating faction, while Chen Haonan, who lives in Lantian and also belongs to the Guantang area, is also known for his fierce and formidable abilities. Ladies and gentlemen, it's so lively, June is so spirited, Chen Haonan said as he walked, even making his iconic five-finger gesture of opening his thumb and scratching his ear. Hou Wenjun saw his movements and felt that this guy was very pretentious. He smiled and said, Haonan, come and sit here. Let's first say that the goods this time are out of stock, and we need to adjust them. Let's talk about it next time. Today everyone is here, so let's talk about how we can produce the next batch of goods. There are still 8 clubs, including one in Changle's Rotten Life Hui, each with 1 layer. The price of 15% for genuine products is not a problem for everyone. At this point, most of the 7 or 8 clubs who set up stalls at the night market on Yuehua Street have arrived, and everyone can see that Hou Wenjun is indeed out of stock. These people are also considered the lowest level members of various clubs, with little ambition or strength. They also speak up about Hou Wenjun's distribution plan. They are clear that they are all working here and occupying an extra piece will definitely lead to a fight. Even if the boss behind you comes forward, it will be useless. They are also supported by big shots behind them. Hou Wenjun invited everyone to have a late-night snack again, which can be considered as giving the next batch of goods the task. Hou Wenjun is also considered an action-oriented person. Yesterday, he just discussed the good goods with all the bosses. The next morning, he took Chen Jichao and Bi Zai to the Wu Street in Suanwan to find Uncle Chiu, the owner of Liansheng garment factory who helped him produce goods, to discuss his new plan. The Liansheng garment factory claims that the factory name is just a small workshop with more than 10 people. The owner, Uncle Chiu Chen Jichao, came from mainland China in 1973. After more than a decade of hard work and with his relatively shrewd brain, he gradually became a small boss. After Hou Wenjun went to the clothing factory and found Uncle Chiu, the few of them went to a nearby tea restaurant to discuss exaggerating the situation at the clothing factory. At around 9 o'clock in the morning, the business in the tea restaurant was quite good. Hou Wenjun and Xiao Xiong sat alone in a small compartment, and Chen Jichao and Bizai couldn't find a separate table and had to compete with others. Uncle Qiu, it's probably not enough to rely solely on you to produce things now. I'm not sure how well goods have been selling recently. I'm planning to invest 200,000 yuan in your clothing factory. In the new company, I will occupy 6 floors and you will occupy 4 floors, expanding the company size by 10 times. I don't know what Uncle Qiu means, Hou Wenjun said directly to Chen Jichao. You should know that 200,000 yuan in 1985 is not a small amount. You can buy a 30.40 square meter apartment in Guantang. Of course, it's an old house that has been sold. However, in Hong Kong, where there are few people and land, 1,000 feet, about 100 square meters, is considered a luxury house. Chen Jichio's so-called clothing factory only costs tens of thousands of yuan for people and equipment, so he has taken advantage of it. It seems that Hou Wenjun has suffered a considerable loss, but for him, he doesn't really value the actual assets of this clothing factory. What he needs is more A-grade goods. Moreover, the most important thing is that Hou Wenjun's management and production of the garment factory are all amateurs. Without the help of Chen Jichao, an old hand, he may not have been able to play around. Xiao Jun, expand the scale. What if we are caught by the police? It's illegal for us to do this. If we continue to expand the scale, the police will definitely come and investigate us. Chen Jichao was not unmoved, but more afraid of the police. Hou Wenjun had already figured out a solution to this and took a sip of milk tea before slowly saying, Uncle Qiu, I have already planned to divide it into several nests in the future, each with only a portion, and finally gather them together to make decorations and labels. The first few nests are considered legitimate business. As long as the last one is not found by the police, there will be no major problem. To be honest, Suanwan in 1985 was as remote as a rural area, and Hou Wenjun was not really worried about the police. Even if he was investigated, the boss was still Chen Jichao and Xiangjiang, who had nothing to do with Hou Wenjun. While the two were continuing to discuss specific issues, Chen Jichao and Bizai at the table next to them started arguing with each other. What if it is from the same company? It's in Suanwan, and I'm the final say. Hou Wenjun followed the sound and looked towards the passers-by, only to see 4 local rags dressed in colorful clothes confronting his younger brother. Hou Wenjun told Uncle Qiu to follow the previously agreed-upon plan, and in 2 days he would come over with the money and let Uncle Qiu leave first. After speaking, he ignored Jichio's reaction and stood up directly, walking towards the group of people with Chen Jichao and Bizai. Seeing Hou Wenjun walking over, Chen Jichao and Bizai called out, Jun Gu together. Hou Wenjun ignored the two and stared directly at Big D, who had just called out the most fiercely. I saw this person, aged 27 or 8, with a fierce expression on his face. He was wearing a floral shirt, beach pants, and slippers, and a necklace of ultra-fine gold weighing less than 1 or 2 was hanging around his neck. Hou Wenjun didn't hesitate to say, Big Brother D, right. How did these 2 brothers offend you? You're so powerful in the same company, you're even more ferocious than Axe Jun. Are you going to cross the file and start a new account? Hou Wenjun's mouth was also considered poisonous. He was so angry that he was about to go straight to work. Fortunately, his younger brother came up and asked, Who are you? You're so powerful. Call yourself Jun, you really consider yourself Axe Jun? In the hearts of Hong Kong gangsters in this era, Axe Handsome was considered a superstar. At the age of 18, he became the Toon Mun tycoon who won the league, playing Toon Mun as the youngest double flower red stick to win the league. At the age of 22, he made a new record with his fellow tycoon, leading the team in a vicious turn. At that time, the transfer fee set a record of 3 million. After passing the new record in 1982, he led the team to enter Tsim Sha Tsui and swept through all the clubs in Tsim Sha Tsui as soon as he entered. Currently, his power is unparalleled in Hong Kong and he is nicknamed the Tiger of Tsim Sha Sui. This person could have been considered a superstar in the late 1980s and early 1990s, but it was a huge loss for Liansheng. Previously, Liansheng dominated Tunmen due to his relationship with Xiangjiang, but now all of Liansheng's forces in Tunmen have become new players. In terms of Liansheng, this person is a shame for the club, but this guy has a new record to support Liansheng's super boss, Deng Bo, and he has no way to deal with him. This is also the reason why De Di said that in the future, the club will give him all their strength after the new Liansheng, and Liansheng can no longer bear such losses. Of course, the current Big D is just a little famous in Tsuan, not really a big shot. I'm not as powerful as Xiangjiang. My younger brother and Liansheng Guantang Hou Wenjun, the big shot Ma Wangbua, and Big D are all from the same family. Why do we have to make things so ugly? Hou Wenjun softened his tone after reporting his name. After all, he still wants to develop the A-goods industry in Tsuan. It's best not to offend the local snake. De Di was also surprised when he heard the name Hou Wenjun. In the past month or two, De Di has also heard the name Hou Wenjun in his old mouth 2 or 3 times. This guy raised the flag of other clubs when he was 16 or 7 years old. He and Liansheng, who originally had no entrance in Guantang, were manipulated by this guy. I heard that the club was also preparing to plant flags in Guantang. Guantang is too poor and there are many clubs inside, and Liansheng did not open an incense hall in this place. Of course, opening an incense hall in Guantang now also means supporting Hou Wenjun. He is boasting that he is about to rise to the throne and become the most prominent young man in it. He doesn't want Hou Wenjun to be directly defeated by Changle's counterattack. Hou Wenjun, I've heard of you before. Why do you come to Tsuan? Big D heard Hou Wenjun's report and decided to give his boss Ma Wangbua some face. If he were to brag himself and beat his horse, he might not look good in the face of his boss and Ma Wangbua in Liansheng. It's nothing, just visit relatives in Tsuan. How about Big D eating or drinking tea? Hou Wenjun replied with a smile. De Di looked unhappy and didn't answer Hou Wenjun's words. Hou Wenjun knew that he couldn't fight anymore. I still have a lot of things to do, but I don't have time to waste time with these rural kids. Big D, let's go first. We'll have a chance to have a drink together next time, Hou Wenjun said with a smile, and without waiting for Big D to reply, he took his little brother out. De Di watched as Hou Wenjun walked out of the tea restaurant and asked the little brother next to him, who was the man who was with him just now. Long-haired, go check and see what he's up to in Tsuan. Got it, Big D. Long Mao didn't hesitate to go out and ask for information when he heard Big D's command. Bastard, don't let me know you're causing trouble in Tsuan, otherwise, Big D whispered with a dark face. Chapter 4. Wind Rises. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The next morning, when Jun asked Chen Jichao and Bizai to take 50,000 yuan to Tsuan to find Uncle Chiu and let him follow him to rent the construction site. He then ran to the bank to count all the property. In the past few months, the money earned by the school has basically been used to support my younger brother, and I can earn 20,000 to 30,000 yuan per month in regular script. However, taking a dozen or so little brothers is really expensive and troublesome. I manage food and drink every day, and occasionally take my little brothers to have a good time or give them some clothes. Almost every month, I don't have much extra money. Fortunately, in the past 2 months, I have made a lot of money by selling copies. Each time, I sold 20,000 yuan worth of goods to people from various clubs who set up stalls in the night market for 40,000 yuan. I bought 3 times and earned over 60,000 yuan from this transaction alone. Including the goods sold by our subordinates themselves, we also earned over 50,000 yuan. This quickly brought Hou Wenjun's wealth to 100,000 yuan. This time, Hou Wenjun plans to invest the 300,000 yuan he received from Ma Wangbua into a replica garment factory, allowing Uncle Chiu to rent 3 factories and buy 7.80 two-handed machines to recruit workers. And let Uncle Chiu handle the procedures and sell the original garment factory to Xian as the person in charge. This factory will be specifically responsible for the final process such as labeling. Of course, none of these can be made in just 1 or 2 days. Hou Wenjun's current payment mainly comes from the payment to other garment factories. That's right, before Zhu Ding opened his own factory, he had already found several garment factories to help him produce a batch of replica products. He received 300,000 yuan from Ma Wanbua to pay for the goods. He had originally planned to borrow 200,000 yuan, but Ma Wanbua gave an extra 100,000 yuan. This way, Hou Wenjun could also pay for the goods and start his own garment factory while picking them up. In the afternoon, he also invited people from other clubs who were picking up goods with him at the night market. Hou Wenjun's future goods were planned to be sold to other night markets in Hong Kong through their connections. A few subordinates scattered out to find someone, and Hou Wenjun himself went to the Xiangjiang tea restaurant to wait for the arrival of others. "Brother Chang, we won't open a shop this afternoon. You and your sister-in-law can rest for a while, and I'll borrow your place to talk about something. You can come back after 5 p.m. to prepare for tonight's business." Hou Wenjun once he arrived at Xiangji, he dispersed Brother Chang and his sister-in-law. Let the 2 younger brothers close the gate of Xiangji, leaving only one small door for others to enter and exit. Before 3 o'clock, everyone from other clubs gradually gathered. "Brother Rong, you're in high spirits. Let's sit down and have a cup of tea for a while, and we'll talk slowly." When Rong saw the 4th and 9th big-mouthed old man in the water room walk in, Hou Wenjun took the initiative to stand up and greet him. "Ah Jun, what did you call me for? I heard from your younger brother that you invited people from other clubs over today." Big Mouth Rong sat directly across from Hou Wenjun without hesitation. "Don't worry, Ronggu will be here soon. Everyone is chatting slowly." Hou Wenjun responded to Big Mouth Rong's question with a smile and turned to Liao Shuzhen who was following him. "Shuzhen, go and pour Ronggu a cup of tea." Just as he finished speaking about Changle, Lao Minghui also walked into the store with his people. As soon as he entered, he called out to Hou Wenjun, "Ah Jun, what's the matter? You're in such a hurry to call me." "Oh, Big Mouth Rong has also come." Hou Wenjun still smiled and said, "Brother Hui is not in a hurry. Please sit down and have a cup of tea for us to chat slowly." Shuzhen will pour a cup of tea for Brother Hui. At less than 3.15, when the number helpers Tian Chiwen, Hongxing's handsome Nan Chen Haonan, Hichu's saliva Rong Li Zhirong, Xinji's silly Chang Miao Jiqiang, Anfeng's old ox, and others arrived, Hou Wenjun instructed his younger brother to pull the gate and lock the door. "A few big shots, let's go up to the 2nd floor and chat for a while, let the little ones drink tea below." After everyone arrived, the 1st floor was already filled with these people bringing the little ones, many of whom were like the pheasant brought by Chen Haonan and the second person from De Tian, while the few were like the Ma Zai brought by Lao Minghui. The following is obviously not the place to talk about things, and it's also strange that Hou Wenjun didn't take the time to go out and suddenly meet so many people. It's inevitable that everyone has some speculations, after all, being careful when wandering in the Jianghu is not harmful. After all 8 people had reached the 2nd floor, Hou Wenjun began to talk about today's topic. "Ladies and gentlemen, our A.Goods business has also been doing well in the past 2 months, and we have earned a few cents. This amount of money is enough to support our families, but it will be difficult to become wealthy. Today, I invited you all over to talk about how we can expand this business." Hou Wenjun said with a smile. As soon as he finished speaking, the newly remembered Silly Chang continued, "Ah Jun, what are we? We're just some bottom-tier scumbags in the club. You don't need to praise us. If you have anything to say, just say it directly. As long as we don't violate the rules, I have nothing to say." "Yeah, June, just say it directly. June, I'm also your old neighbor. If you have anything, just say it directly. After listening to these guys express their opinions, Hou Wenjun didn't hesitate and said directly, my next shipment will be more than 10 to 20 times more than it is now, and there will be more in the future. It's more than enough to eat at a single Guantang night market. I need everyone to mobilize their respective connections in other areas and sell the goods to the whole Hong Kong. Each company has its own territory, and it's not convenient for outsiders to sell these goods. This time, we will tentatively put some of our goods in other night markets, and Hou Wenjun won't lose money to everyone. I will give you 15% of the price of the regular goods, and you will use 20% of the price to transfer them to other night markets. After listening to Hou Wenjun's words, a few people began to calculate their gains and losses. Of course, the big companies such as Xiangjiang Xiaoxiong and Hongxing Chenhaonan were happy. Our company is large, has many territories, and there are also many places to sell goods. Anfeng Lao Nyo and He Tu Ko Shui Rong from small companies can't do it anymore. People from these small companies can't do as well as those from big companies. The old ox asked directly, June, if we do this, we will suffer a lot. After listening to Lao Nyo's words, Hou Wenjun smiled and said, don't worry, brother Nyo. This amount of goods scattered throughout Hong Kong is not enough to eat. I guarantee that everyone can get the same amount of goods, and this business can only make a few months of quick money. After other people's replica factories open up, they won't be taking goods from us anymore. Maybe everyone has agreed here and will go out to find their own garment factory to get the replica. You don't need to look, saliva brother. I'm talking about you. The Wenji garment you found on Guantang Industrial Road is okay, right? But unfortunately, I also placed an order with them, so their boss decided on this batch of clothes. The goods were rushed to me first. I won't name anyone else. Either we can gather everyone's strength to do this business together, make money together, and enter the night market in Hong Kong. Or everyone won't make money. Do you think you can be a real big shot? Upon hearing Hou Wenjun's words, Mouth Water Roan was also surprised. He looked awkwardly at what others were about to say when Hou Wenjun waved his hand and interrupted him, saying, to be honest, Hou Wenjun has a few of his own factories, and more than 10 factories are helping me rush goods. I'm not afraid of competition from others, can you? Speaking, Wenjun also put away his smiling face and looked coldly at the person sitting before continuing, either you can bloom and prosper with me, or I can drive him out of Guantang and you can choose for yourself. The last sentence spoken by Hou Wenjun, who had been smiling all along before, can be said to be full of domineering aura. Ah Jun is my brother, and I, Hongxing and Chenhaonan, will support him regardless of his good or bad. The first person to stand up and support Hou Wenjun was Chenhaonan, and Liang Nan was known for his loyalty. The two of them went to St. Mary's High School together. After Hou Wenjun found a way for A. Goods to make money, he was the first one to take Chenhaonan on board. At that time, others couldn't see the potential of A. Goods as Hou Wenjun was not interested in students. Only Chenhaonan, who had been idle for the same day, was willing to help him sell A. Goods. Ah Jun, I'll support you with my bad luck Hui. Whoever wants to take a backhand, will drive him out of Guantang. Bad luck Hui, who only knows money, even dares to sell his own boss in order to continue selling goods with Hou Wenjun. Whoever dares to ruin his own financial situation will be beaten. Jun, listen to you. Okay, Jun, what should we do specifically? Afterwards, others began to express their intention to be together, including Drool Rong, who swore not to do it alone but to be together. Tomorrow, I will bring out 500,000 yuan worth of goods for everyone to share. Within 3 days, everyone will scatter me to other night markets. After a week, I will bring out 700,000 yuan worth of goods. If anyone cannot finish the next order, they will automatically lose 5 layers. I guarantee that everyone will have exclusive access to the market within a month, and they can at least make over 100,000 to 200,000 yuan in this month. If we really do well, it is not a problem for everyone to make at least 400,000 to 500,000 yuan within 2 to 3 months. You can calculate for yourself, at least earn several times more than you alone. After listening to the statement of these people, Hou Wenjun said with a smile. He knows too well that for some people, only interests can tightly bind them together. Apart from Chen Haonan, who has some loyalty to him, the others can only talk about money for him. After discussing some details and rules about bulk cargo, a few people left Changji with them to find a way out. After all, they couldn't get rid of the 500,000 yuan cargo on their own for the first time, so they had to reduce it by 5 layers next time. It's all money. Hou Wenjun looked at the time and was about to take someone out to Wan Chai to find Ma Wanghua. He still needed to deal with it at 8 p.m. in the Fugue building. Big Head, please tidy up the shop and wait for Changgu to come back. After instructing the younger brother Big Head to stay in the shop and wait for Changgu to come back, Hou Wenjun led Liao Shuzhen and others out of the Changji gate. As he walked, he continued to say to Liao Shuzhen, "Tonight, you will continue to set up a stall with people. We have sold out the remaining batch of goods in the past few days. We will no longer sell our own goods. Come to me tomorrow to get 20,000 yuan, help Jichao and Bizai get their driver's licenses, and then get a 2-handed bread truck to be responsible for delivering goods in the future." As soon as I left the door, I saw Chen Haonan waiting for me at the door with a mountain chicken and others. "Ah Jun, let's talk," I said after handing a cigarette to Hou Wenjun. Liang Zainan walked over and whispered, "Brother B said that Ma Wanghua is going to fall, and we are also going to start work. You should pay attention." Without waiting for a response from Wenjun, he left with his people. Chen Haonan's boss, Big Boss B, is currently one of the only 2 company bosses who can still stand in the Wan Chai area. With the influence of Hong Xing, he can still compete with the bragging chicken in the Causeway Bay generation. Since even Chen Haonan knows that Ma Wanghua is going to take over, Big Boss B needs to start working again to seize the land. It seems that not only Ma Wanghua has had an accident, but it's also possible that this time he's going to even boast about it. After hearing this news and looking at the backs of Chen Haonan and his companions who had gone far away, Hou Wenjun remembered that Ma Wanghua didn't even have time to personally give him money yesterday. He chuckled and whispered to himself, "Uncle Chicken, your popularity is so poor, it seems that you can't afford to be a restaurant." Turning around, he said to the little brother following him, "Why Zai, go see what Piggy Chang is doing. Notify me immediately if there is any news. Ah Hu, go inform all the brothers not to start work tonight and prepare well. Ah Long, also go inform Silly Chang and Rotten Life Hui to come and perform a scene tonight. Boss, it's not that the younger brothers don't show loyalty. The 300,000 you gave me doesn't want to become a settlement fee." When Hou Wenjun returned to Changji, he first called Huang Wenbin on 9488 urgently, "Is the food delicious?" After waiting for more than 10 minutes in Changji, the phone on the counter rang. "June, the food is too hard for you to eat. In a few days, I will also go back to Kuiqing to see my mother. You don't need to come today." Huang Wenbin didn't tell Hou Wenjun what happened on the phone, but it was obvious that Ma Wanghua's disaster was imminent. Even Huang Wenbin was preparing to return to Kuiqing. "Okay, thank you, Brother Bin. Take care and have dinner together another day." Hou Wenjun finished speaking and hung up the phone. If it weren't for Chen Haonan coming to tell him that Ma Wanghua had an accident today and not calling Huang Wenbin himself, Huang Wenbin would definitely not have called to tell him this. After putting down the phone, Hou Wenjun immediately dialed Ma Wanghua's phone. "Hello, Big Shot, I'm Ah Jun. The new person from Changle and I are here to get into trouble. We didn't reach an agreement just now at Changa's store, so we might have a fight tonight." Hou Wenjun pretended to be in a hurry as soon as he got through the phone. After a few seconds of silence, Ma Wanghua's voice came from the other end of the phone, "Ah Jun, don't worry about them. Come over for dinner tonight, and I'll send someone to help you handle it." "No way, boss. My people have been blocked by them. I asked Hu to lead a counterattack and cut off the foolish Chang led by Xinji. The rotten Minghui of Chang'e and his people are looking for me everywhere. I'm afraid it's because Xinji Guantang is talking about people and gods fighting against me for a.goods business. Can you ask Brother Pig Oil Xiangjiang to come to Changji to support me? Hou Wenjun continued to refuse Ma Wanbua's request. It's not convenient for Chang Zai to help you now. You can hide for now. I'll talk about this in a few days. I have something else to do on my end, and I'll call you when I'm done. Ma Wanbua hung up as he spoke. Listening to the beep coming from the microphone, Hou Wenjun held the phone for a while before hanging up. Hou Wenjun chuckled and thought to himself, it seems like you're really in trouble, big shot. With such a gentle try, you'll miss out. After Chang Gu and Chang So returned, Hou Wenjun rushed back to Yuehua Street with the remaining younger brothers. After returning to Yuehua Night Market Street, Long and Hu also rushed back to tell Hou Wenjun that they had completed the task he had assigned. After 9 o'clock in the evening, Hou Wenjun's side also gathered 40 to 50 people, while the other side, Lao Minghui and Silly Chang, also brought in more than 50 people. Both sides began to form their positions across the streets and at the end of Yuehua Street. Since it's acting, we need to perform the entire set. If it's really not enough to start a fight, we still need to find some buddies to go sunbathing or something like that. Half an hour later, both sides dispersed, and after several hours of intensive inquiry, Hou Wenjun finally found out what had happened to Ma Wanbua. Last night, his peripheral group was taken down by the police in one fell swoop, and it is said that the evidence in the police's hands this time is enough for him to sit for a generation. Lord Chang is not here at Guantang now. According to his younger brother who watched the scene, he was called back to Wan Chai by Ma Wanbua. Hou Wenjun knew that regardless of the situation this time, the location of the restaurant for blowing chicken was considered yellow. Ma Wanbua was probably booked, and there would be no further conversation with Liansheng Guantang. I just don't know if I can get down with these 30 things. Can this be considered my first stab of gold? 5. Chapter 5 begins. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. In an office building in central, Hongqing, a renowned tycoon in Causeway Bay, rarely wore a black suit to cover his tattoos today. Boss B walked to the front desk of this trading company with his 2 confidants and said to the company staff inside, "Hello, beautiful woman. I'm Wu Jiwei. Could you please contact your boss, Jiang Sheng?" At first glance, the receptionist at the front desk knew that the 3 of them were not good people. Although they were all wearing suits and ties, the fierce aura emanating from their bodies told Li Huei that these 3 were members of the club. Of course, Li Huei has also seen many such figures, and she knows that her boss Jiang Tianxing seems to be the prince of some club. Many people from the martial arts world come to visit him on a daily basis. "Hello Mr. Wu, Jiang Sheng is waiting for you in the room. Please follow me," said Li Huei as she walked out of the front desk with the 3 of them towards Jiang Sheng's office. After walking past the front desk, there is a large office shared by more than 10 people, and the room of the boss Jiang Tianxing is located inside the large office. Li Huei and the 3 of them walked through the office area outside to Jiang Tianxing's room. After knocking on the door 3 times, they heard Jiang Tianxing's voice coming from inside. "Please come in." Li Huei quickly opened half of the room door and said to Jiang Tianxing inside, "Jiang Sheng, Mr. Wu Zhixiong is here." This import and export company called Tianxing Trading is not very large, with only a dozen or so people in total. However, all of them are employees recruited by the company through formal recruitment, and they also engage in legitimate import and export trade business. Therefore, Jiang Tianxing's company, like other companies outside, has many rules and regulations. Jiang Tianxing, who was reading the document, looked up at Li Huei at the door and said, "Please ask him to come in. When Wu Xing comes over, you can let them in directly." After hearing Jiang Tianxing's words inside, the big shot bee at the door walked in with a loud laugh. Li Hui didn't get angry at the so-called Wu Sheng for his impolite behavior. She had seen many of these ancient troublemakers with Jiang Sheng, and if she continued to work in this company in the future, she would see many more of them. Who is the boss of the company? Jiang Sheng can tell that your company's business is good. Big Boss B walked into Jiang Tianqing's office with a smile. Jiang Tianqing was not angry with Big Boss B's crude behavior, but smiled and said to Li Hui at the door, "Minnie, help Wu Xing pour a cup of tea over." After Li Hui closed the door and left, Jiang Tianqing said to Big Boss B, "I received news that Ma Wanhua from Liansheng has been confirmed this time. His subordinate son has spit out to the police. The police will take action in the afternoon. Last night, Mr. Su from Xinji called me and said that Chen Yaoxing from Wanchai wants to work with you." "What do you mean?" "Blowing the rooster has a great influence in the entire Wanchai, so if he wants to join forces, he will join forces. With such a big deal this time, I'm afraid Ma Wanhua's people will have to run away. Even if they don't run away, they dare not show up." Boss B originally intended to take advantage of Ma Wanhua's opportunity to act on his own, but of course, it would be better to have Chen Yaoxing join. Even if Ma Wanhua and his team are caught or run away, they will lose more than half of their bragging power, but there are still enough available manpower left for his Boss B to fight. After hearing Big Boss B's words, Jiang Tianqing nodded with satisfaction and said, "All right, I will talk to Su Xing from Xinji. Let's fight each other. We can't fight each other, we can only compete for a chicken farm. How much we can get depends on our abilities. Do you have any objections?" "Jiang Sheng, what can I say? Big Shot B actually knows that it's impossible for him and Chen Yaoxing to eat the fried chicken alone. If he and Chen Yaoxing work together to clean up the fried chicken, it will be much easier." "Dang, Jiang Sheng, this is Wu Xing's tea." After Li Hui finished delivering the tea, Jiang Tianqing continued, B, this is your good opportunity. Seize the opportunity to fight for a comeback. The whole operation should be fast, no more than 3 days. The old man is in Singapore to see his old friend go and grab as much as he can before he returns. After he returns, he will definitely mediate the 3 parties. When Big Boss B heard Mr. Zhang's words, he instinctively sat up straight and immediately stated, "Go against Chen Yaoxing and send the bragging chicken bastard down within 3 days. But why did Mr. Jiang intervene when he returned? Who knows why he doesn't allow major clubs to have big conflicts? He always says something like, Hong Kong is prosperous, we are prosperous, we are prosperous, Hong Kong will be even more prosperous. Shouldn't we Hong Xing unify the martial arts world? In short, this time we must be fast, and we can grab as much as we can in 3 days." Jiang Tianqing actually complains a bit in his heart about his father, who always talks about the importance of peace and grass, even though he can defeat all hostile clubs in Hong Kong at once. Jiang Tianqing, who is only 27 years old now, is far from reaching the level of his father. To be honest, his father and other elders are more optimistic about his younger brother Jiang Tianyang taking over. However, Jiang Tianyang clearly has no interest in taking over and has gone to Thailand to raise elephants. Thailand was not peaceful in 1985, with coups and riots happening almost every day. "Okay, Jiang Sheng, I won't disturb you anymore. I'll go back and prepare now. Tonight, I'll start sweeping the chicken farm." Big Boss B stood up and said goodbye. Jiang Tianqing also stood up and said, B, remember, you must be fast." "I know now, Jiang Sheng." After Big Boss B finished speaking, he walked directly out of Jiang Tianqing's office. Jiang Tianqing picked up a document in the office and looked at it, but his mind was completely focused on tonight's action instead of the document. He knew that most of the people at the top of the 12 halls did not support him to take over, but rather favored his younger brother Jiang Tianyang. Big Boss B and Chen Yao are one of the 2 newly promoted big shots he has. Compared to the brainy Chen Yao, he is more optimistic about Big Boss B who can fight. As long as Big Boss B achieves results, he will definitely succeed in taking over regardless of whether his old friends are willing or not. Hou said his father only has 2 sons, him and Xiang Tianyang, and Xiang Tianyang has no intention of managing the business of the club. As long as he proves his ability to take over, it is inevitable. In the mound of Causeway Bay Tycoon B, despite his short stature, he was also considered one of Hongxing's gold medal hitters in his youth, commonly known as the Red Stick. Even after becoming a big shot, his territory is still in the gym where he started. After returning to Causeway Bay in the afternoon, Boss B gathered all the key members of his subordinates to wait for news at this boxing gym. Just now, his subordinate Abao told him that Ma Wanghua had been arrested, and the leader of the ambush on witnesses, Zhu Youqiang, was also ambushed by the police. Tonight is the time for a change of dynasty in Wan Chai. As we all know, the leader who can dominate the Wan Chai region is Ma Wanghua. Now that Ma Wanghua has been arrested, many of his subordinates have also joined in. Tonight is the time for us to counterattack. Boss B began pre-war mobilization. I have reached an agreement with Chen Yaoxing from Wan Chai to jointly sweep away the chicken farm tonight. The number of farms that the 2 families can compete for together depends on their abilities. Whether to eat abalone or grouper in the future depends on your abilities. Now the chicken gang is in trouble, and I estimate that he won't be able to organize any decent defense in the face of a full-scale attack like tonight, so I have decided. Boss B continued to speak after looking at the backbone of his subordinates. Ah Bao, lead a team to sweep away all the venues in Causeway Bay. Causeway Bay is our foundation, and tonight I want the entire Causeway Bay to be the same. Boss B stared at one of his confidants on the left in front of him and said. No problem, Brother B, don't worry. I've been waiting for this day for a long time. The volcano's egg is scattered, and I'll take care of it in minutes. Upon hearing the boss's instructions, Abao immediately replied loudly. Aubin, you lead a team from Causeway Bay to sweep towards the direction of the big pit. You can sweep as much as you can tonight. It's best for me to capture the entire big pit. Lai Piqiang will definitely run away tonight due to being dragged down by Ma Wanghua, and there shouldn't be any decent resistance. Boss B turned to his other confidant and instructed. Don't worry, Brother B, tonight, I will take down the entire big pit and let my brothers eat fish every day. Aubin also replied excitedly. Big head, Anan, you 2 kids follow me. Tonight, let's go sweep the land where we blow chickens and take out this old guy. Big Boss B smiled as he looked at the 2 horses he had recently trained. After hearing his boss's instructions, Chen Haonan's heart became even more passionate and he immediately shouted loudly, Don't worry, Brother B, tonight I will definitely kill the old guy who blew the chicken. The big head on the other side just coldly said, I know, and then stopped standing beside him to continue watching Big Boss B. Alright, everyone go ahead and prepare. Tonight at 12 o'clock, I'm going to flip the entire Wan Chai. From now on, Wan Chai will be ours, shouted Big Boss B excitedly. Unfortunately, the subordinates did not raise their swords high and shout slogans like, Flip Wan Chai, Flip Wan Chai. Instead, they dispersed and prepared, each playing their own little tricks. For these adult gangsters, they have been around for at least 7 to 8 years, and have experienced many experiences of being chopped down and being chopped down. They know that tonight in Wan Chai, there will be at least 1,000 people attacking at the same time, and they don't know how many more people will die. Will they be one of them? They just have a solid record and can't turn back. They don't want to fight anything else. The truly passionate young people are Chen Haonan's age group. As newborn calves, they only thought of going out with their elder brother to chop people and sweep the scene, but did not expect that they might be the one who was chopped to death tonight. At the same time, Chen Yaoxing from Wan Chai has just finished assigning sweeping tasks to his opponents. After sending away the younger brothers, Chen Yaoxing sat alone at the bar, drinking his whiskey. Uncle Chicken, I'm sorry, there's an order from above that I have to fight. I can't help myself in the martial arts world, and I hope you understand my difficulties, Uncle Chicken. Holding a glass of wine, Chen Yaoxing saluted the chicken blowing in his heart, who didn't know where to hide. To be honest, in recent years, Chen Yaoxing, who has risen in the core area of Wan Chai, although their backgrounds are different, in the process of Chen Yaoxing's rise, the boasting chicken has secretly helped him smooth out many things. Chen Yaoxing was able to become the leader of Xinji Wan Chai at the age of 24 or 5, thanks not only to the admiration of Xinji's leader Mr. Su, but also to the help of his friend, who is also known as the chicken of his dead father. In a villa on Bia Road in Happy Valley, Blowing Chicken, who was hiding here, also received news of his horse, Wan Bo, being arrested. He had been dominant in the Wan Chai area for many years and had already received rumors of Hong Xing De Bi and Xing Chen Yaoxing's backhand alliance attacking him. However, what really angered him was not Chen Yaoxing's backhand, but the disdainful and unrecognizable behavior of Ma Wanbua's former subordinates. Time was set back 10 minutes ago. Sitting on the sofa with a mobile phone, the boasting chicken is calling Ma Wanbua's young brothers who have not had any problems. Def, I'm Chuiji. In the evening, you lead a team to Wan Chai and prepare to counterattack Chen Yaoxing's attack, Chuiji sternly ordered over the phone. The deaf person on the other end of the phone pouted disapprovingly and replied, Uncle Chicken, the police are keeping an eye on me too closely now. I can't move. My phone may have been disconnected by the police, so I hung up first. Hearing the busy voice on the phone, my blood pressure is a bit high. After cursing, the bastard continued to call others' phones, saying, Volcano, tonight Big B will lead a team to sweep the field. You can lead a team to fight back at Causeway Bay. Uncle Chicken, I've been running away to sea now, and I can't do anything about it, said the volcano on the other end of the phone before hanging up. Listening to the sound of mahjong on the phone, I was so angry that I was about to burst my blood vessels. On the other side, the volcano is nestled with deaf people, Huang Wenbin, and others in Huang Wenbin's village house in Kuiqing, playing mahjong. I'll turn off my phone first, so that the old ghost won't call later and I still have to think about explaining, Lai Piqiang said before taking off his big brother's battery. Seeing Lai Piqiang's actions, he also removed the battery from his phone, but only Huang Wenbin remained still. He knew that boasting was not a fool, and after hearing the words of the deaf and the volcano, he would not call again. Instead of reminding the two, he asked in a low voice, what should we do now? It's certain that the venue will be swept. Now, only a few of us in Wan Chai have the strength to withstand the backhand alliance of Chen Yaoxing and Big B. Let the boasting chicken go ahead first. The boss has been caught, and maybe he will bite me out at some point. I won't come forward until this matter is settled, anyway, Lai Piqiang said while playing cards. Smooth it out. How can we smooth it out? It's Bo Gu who's in now. Are you going to smooth it out? Volcano asked with a smile after hearing Lai Piqiang's words. Huang Wenbin frowned and said, don't talk nonsense about the volcano. The lawyer just went to see Bo Gu, and he is ready to carry it down on his own. After drawing a card, the deaf man saw that it was not the card he wanted. He slapped the card directly on the table and cursed, damn it, the pig fat is strong, it's not good to handle things, it killed Bo Gu and implicated his brothers, Grass. You're capable, why didn't you take on this task yourself at that time? Asterisk said in a gloomy voice. Grass mud horse, asterisk what do you mean? The deaf man immediately became angry. Huang Wenbin looked at this group of people with some helplessness. Bo Gu fell down, and no one could hold them down anymore. Now, no one in this group is convinced of him. Of course, anyone who wants to step on him as the boss is also unwilling for Huang Wenbin. On the other side, after making 2 phone calls, the boaster angrily threw the phone out. Amin, gather all our brothers to prepare for a counterattack. Don't think that without Ma Wanbua, I won't be able to stand still. He boasted that calling Ma Wanbua's subordinates was just a waste, hoping that this group would first withstand the counterattack of the two families and hide behind to remotely control. Boss, Big B and Chen Yaoxing need to gather at least 1,000 people. Without Bo Ji's manpower, we won't be able to fight with a few hundred of them. And tonight, the entire battle is going on, and we need people to watch every venue. We really don't have enough manpower, said the confidant with a slightly disheartened expression. Oh, so what? Do you want me to give them the venue? If I don't fight back, the sign of blowing chicken will stink. As long as it lasts for 3 days, blowing chicken said helplessly, looking at Xiangming. It cannot be denied that Ma Wanbua, who has unified the underground horse farms outside Hong Kong, has gained so much popularity in the past 2 years. However, it cannot be denied that Ma Wanbua's influence is much greater than that of his boastful chickens. Without Ma Wanbua, his boastful chickens would not be able to control the entire Wan Chai area. 6. Beginning of Chapter 6. You are listening at novelfull.audio. I have written almost 200,000 words now. Don't seek death, don't mix black. I have posted some chapters that haven't been organized yet. Interested friends can go ahead and take a look. The next morning, Hou Wenjun rushed to Tsuanwan with a dozen or so young men to collect the goods. Before noon, all 5 garment factories that helped him produce A-grade goods delivered the goods to his designated location. He then called Chen Haonan and others to come to Tsuanwan in the afternoon to distribute the goods. Each household receives goods worth at least tens of thousands, and all parties are still quite cautious. The stronger ones bring 7 or 8 people, 2 or 3 small vans to transport goods, while the weaker ones bring 3 or 4 people to load goods. All the goods were packed before 4 p.m., and after the payment from all parties to him was received, the transaction was considered completed. Whether they can be sold within 3 days depends on their abilities. In the evening, through Uncle Chio's relationship, he invited more than 10 clothing factory owners out for dinner and asked them to help him produce 500,000 more goods within a week. After seeing off these bosses after dinner, Hou Wenjun knew that if everything went smoothly, he would be on the road to success. However, the thought of dealing with the Liansheng group was a headache. In the afternoon, news came from Weizi that Ma Wanbua had been arrested. Piggy Chang led the team to buy witnesses and was also caught by the ambushed police. Most of Ma Wanbua's other subordinates who were not arrested were also hidden. In the evening, news came from Shanghai Zai that the territory of Blow Chicken in Wan Chai had been jointly swept by the Big Shot B of Hongxing Group and Chen Yaoxing of Xinji Group. At night, Hongxing and over 1,000 security personnel from Xinji had no ability to fight back at all. The territory of the entire Wan Chai area was divided into 2 by the 2, and the Big Pit generation in Causeway Bay was taken by Big Boss B, while a large part of Wan Chai and Happy Valley was taken by Chen Yaoxing. In the past 2 years, the most prominent security captain of Liansheng has been boasting about being beaten up, leaving only a small portion of the Happy Valley and the territory of the Zhejian Mountain. To be honest, Hou Wenjun didn't feel well when he saw his boss being arrested and his boss being swept away. It wasn't because he felt sad for them, but because he knew that his future path would be difficult. Without the 2 golden signboards of Blowing Chicken and Ma Wanbua in front of me to help me carry the wind and rain, I'm afraid I can only face the threat from other companies on my own. Hou Wenjun also has a bit of selfishness, which is that he didn't really want to become a member of the He Liansheng group. He just wanted to make money under the guise of He Liansheng and boasting. To put it bluntly, Ma Wanbua can handle the situation, but if a boastful chicken falls, even if Hou Wenjun still wears the banner of winning with Liansheng, there will be no one to support him within Liansheng, unless he changes people to follow. Hello, Bin, how many brothers are there that Bo can move now? Can you accept them? Hou Wenjun thought it over and over again and decided to come out and help boast. Ma Wanbua fell down is the best. Even if he plays the sign of winning with Liansheng, he is not the real one. His boss Ma Wanbua has not yet processed his employment procedures. The entire perimeter block has been swept, and even those who were not caught have been targeted by the police. Ah June, it's up to you to do what you can, and it's probably difficult for you to help boast. Hou Wenjun rudely scolded Hou Wenjun over the phone. Ma Wanhua has won, it's not a loss for us. We're really going to blow our luck. We didn't even have a chance to win in the league, and we won't even have a chance to turn things around in the future. Even if you go back to Kuiqing, what can you do then? Hou Wenjun said rudely to Hou Wenjun on the phone. After a silence on the phone for half a day, Hou Wenjun continued, wait for my call. We won't show up. People can give it to you, but you need to appear in the name of your Guantang security team. Okay, at least 500 people, I won't show up without them. Tell them that the mountain has collapsed and we're all done lying on it. Hou Wenjun said his request and hung up the phone directly. Jichao, how many people can we move at most now? Ahu, can you help me contact other people besides Chen Haonan and Silly Chang and ask them for help? Tell them it's just a fight and not a fight. Hou Wenjun, who was originally planning to hide in Suanwan for 2 days, found that boasting about him was really useless. It would be strange if he hadn't been killed after fighting for 2 days. June, we only have over 100 people at most. Chen Jichao hesitated for a moment and swallowed the words he had intended to advise Hou Wenjun not to go into this muddy water. He knew that his boss was very independent, and it wasn't because his heart wasn't here that he had already unified Guantang. He may not be as handsome as the 18-year-old axe. Hou Wenjun saw Chen Jichao's expression and said with a smile, don't worry, the boss won't let you go to the market. At the same time, in a rural village house in Kuiqing, Hou Wenjun was also discussing with the person sitting about waiting for Wenjun's phone call just now. Ah June, you're right. The mountain has fallen, and we don't feel well either. Hou Wenjun, sitting on the sofa, looked coldly at the 4 people sitting there. Liansheng grabbed the beer from the coffee table and took a hard sip before saying, is this guy okay? This is our last resort. If we go all out, we'll have nothing left. This kid is not stupid, he won't really fight. Don't worry, Ah Jun is better than us. If Bo Gu capsizes, we still have to eat. I'll support him. After taking a look at Liansheng, he thought about the gains and losses and felt that bragging really can't be defeated. He collapsed, and even in the team of Liansheng, it's not easy for him to get along. Ah Jun wants to rise to the top, can we still stop him? This kid is very clever, and I will also come out. Take advantage of everyone's strength to fight well. One chai is all gone, and we can wait for ***** in the future. We can still afford to come out with 5 or 100 people. If the venue is completely gone, it will be difficult for 5 or 100 people to come out. Volcano also agreed to step forward and help blow the chicken to fight back. After several people finished speaking, they all turned their heads to the deaf man who was the most powerful but still had not made a statement. The deaf man was considered the most skilled among all of Ma Wanhua's younger brothers. He had been practicing Thai boxing since childhood and was also a fierce fighter from Lantian to Wan Chai. In the past 2 years, he has had many performances in Happy Valley. The territory that has not yet been conquered by Qin Yaoxing in Happy Valley is all his. Of course, deaf people are not really deaf. They had their left ear cut off during a security incident, and their hearing was still normal. They just jokingly called him deaf. Fight, if Hou Wenjun doesn't come, I'll fight as well. It's best if he comes. Let him go and fight. The police are chasing me too closely now, otherwise I would have turned that Wanzai tiger into a Wanzai cat long ago. After seeing all the statements made, Hou Wenjun continued, I will also leave, but from now on, I will be in Kuiqing and won't be returning to Wan Chai. You also need to think about it. Hou Wenjun won't sell his strength to you, at most, he can hold on to the hype. After speaking, he ignored these people and got up to the phone to call Hou Wenjun. If you don't stick to me, I'll keep an eye on you too closely. I'll take someone to fight back and use this kid to come forward, grass. Damn it, lard is strong, and Bo Gu has also been harmed. Chen Yaoxing, Big B, my grass. When Huang Wenbin went to make a phone call, there were only deaf people left in the living room shouting and cursing. Wan Chai was wrongly lost. The matter is settled, 500 people. When do you need it? Tomorrow night, Guantang, are you really going to fight? I'm a brain eater, how can we talk without these thousands of people putting pressure on me? When Hou Wenjun heard the sound of a broken line on the phone, he didn't get angry and continued to whisper to himself while holding on to the topic, Brother Bin, don't you know if you've heard the name Han Bin? The new generation of fierce people in Kuiqing. With the support of the people and horses left behind by Ma Wanbua, Hou Wenjun dialed the phone to blow the chicken again. Uncle Chicken, I'm Ah Jun, Hou Wenjun said politely to the boastful chicken after the phone was connected. What's up with June? The sound of blowing chicken was filled with exhaustion. Uncle Chicken, I heard that something happened on your side in Guantang. Our brothers in Guantang miss you very much. Do we need to cross the sea to see you? Hou Wenjun's words were full of concern. Ah Jun, your boss Ma Wanbua has an accident, you don't even ask a question. It's rare that you still care about us elderly people, he chuckled. Uncle G, Bo Gu has been pulled by the police. I can't do anything about it, but your Wan Chai has had an accident. Thousands of guards from our Guantang security team are still very concerned about your old man's health. As you always say, I will lead the team across the sea tomorrow. Hou Wenjun still said with concern and boastful tone. Thousands of people. Wenjun is even better at boasting than lousy. Ah Jun, if you could bring dozens of little brothers to see me, I would be very happy, said the boasting chicken to himself. Okay, Uncle Chicken, tomorrow I'll go to Causeway Bay to see your elderly home first, and you should rest early. Without waiting for a chicken to reply, he hung up the phone. On the other side of the phone, Blowing Chicken shook his head with his big brother and said, You're just an idiot. You're still going to Causeway Bay. It seems that this kid is a bit dizzy when he heard his boss was arrested and he was swept away. I hope he won't be chopped to death when he arrives at Causeway Bay tomorrow. After Hou Wenjun hung up the call to blow the chicken, he continued to call Chen Haonan's call machine. A few minutes later, Chen Haonan called back and said, Hello, this is Chen Haonan. Who can I find? Liang Zainan, I'm Ah Juan. Can you talk to your captain Brother B tomorrow night? Hou Wenjun explained the reason very bluntly. June, are you drunk? Talk to my old team leader. Chen Haonan's tone was full of surprise. Anan, it's okay. Tomorrow, you'll follow your captain. When I receive the wind tonight, I'll tell your captain that I want to talk to him. Hou Wenjun chuckled before continuing. What kind of wind? Ah June, I advise you not to cause trouble, otherwise the brothers won't give face. Chen Haonan's tone was 3 points heavier than before. It's okay, Anan. You'll know by leaving some people in Guantang tomorrow. That's it for now, let's meet tomorrow. Hou Wenjun's tone remained relaxed as he hung up the phone before Chen Haonan could answer. After Ma Wanbua was arrested today, the entire Wan Chai area experienced a major security storm. I don't know what kind of security storm will unfold in Wan Chai tomorrow after Hou Wenjun gathers thousands of security guards here. Chapter 7. Lectures on Mathematics. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Hou Wenjun rushed back to Guantang with people overnight to let everyone go. After that, he took Liao Shuzhen back home. This morning, he woke up and pushed away Liao Shuzhen, who was still asleep next to him. He put on his clothes lightly and walked out of the bedroom, only to see his mother sitting on the sofa in the living room, watching TV. Mom, good morning. What's there for breakfast? Where's the older sister? Hou Wenjun walked gently to his mother's side and suddenly shouted loudly. Hou Wenjun's mother, Holy Shufan, was clearly startled and lightly patted Hou Wenjun twice, saying, What's early? It's already over 10 minutes, and lunch is about to be made. What else do you have for breakfast? Your sister has gone to school, and tomorrow is Monday for class. You damn child, running around all day without studying well, be careful not to be chopped to death. Hey, Mom, how could you say that about your own child? Am I your biological child or not? Curse me so much, Hou Wenjun said with great dissatisfaction. Don't think your mother is deaf. The neighbors say you joined a club because you don't learn well. The underworld is really bad. Seeing that your mother was about to start a long argument, Hou Wenjun quickly interrupted, Mom, you're here again. I don't sell drugs or anything else, just sell pirated products. Can you post them for home use or not? Don't be a bad person. You should go to buy vegetables and cook. If you need something, talk with your old sisters in the market. I went to Brother Chang's for breakfast. Xu Zhen is still sleeping in her room. I won't come back for lunch. After finishing speaking, Hou Wenjun ran straight out of the house. He was so scared of his mother's nagging skills. After never going to school, he would nag himself twice a day. Although it was for his own good, the same words every day also made him very annoyed. As soon as I walked into Changji Tea Restaurant, I saw that B was also there. Hou Wenjun sat over without hesitation. Jun Gu B immediately stood up and greeted Hou Wenjun when he saw him. Sit down, Sister Chang has a sandwich and a cup of mandarin ducks, Hou Wenjun shouted loudly to Sister Chang after letting B sit down. After you finish your meal, go to the water, smoke, and bread. There will be thousands of people coming to gather at night, and you will take care of them to greet them. With this money, you must have enough, and I don't want people to say I'm stingy. After when Jun finished ordering and eating, he instructed B to take out another 30,000 yuan from his body and put it on the table. Don't worry, Yunga. I know how to do it, I've also borrowed someone from Ma Wanbo before. It's your first time creating such a big scene, and we won't embarrass you. B Zai said excitedly after hearing Hou Wenjun's words. Well, be clever, don't cause trouble at night. Why are you alone and the others? Hou Wenjun casually asked as he saw that only B was there. Chao Gu and his team went to get things, Chiu went to find a car, and the rest of the people were waiting to gather on the rooftop of Xian's house. As he spoke of getting things, B made a grab gesture. This surprised Hou Wenjun. Are you a jerk grabbing? Chen Jichao wants me to die. He cursed inwardly for a while, but still smiled and said, okay, you can also buy them food and drink to bring. I'll go call Jichao first. Speaking, he turned around and tried to call Chen Jichao's call machine at the counter. In less than 3 minutes, Chen Jichao came back. Hello, this is Chen Jichao. Who is this? Hou Wenjun said with a dark face and a very unfriendly tone, where can I buy something? I don't want anything anymore, please get back quickly. I'll go to the rooftop of Xianjiang later. June, I bought something. I'm right downstairs from Xian's house now. Don't worry, I bought it from the city in the morning and it's very safe. Chen Jichao also noticed that Hou Wenjun's tone was not correct and quickly explained. The rooftop is waiting for me. As soon as when Jun spoke, he hung up the phone and walked directly out of Changji Tea Restaurant toward Xian's house. Xianjia also lived in a Tang building on Yuehua Street. In less than 10 minutes, Wenjun saw Chen Jichao and others on the rooftop. Yunga, more than 30 people had already gathered upstairs, and when they saw Hou Wenjun coming up, everyone quickly greeted him. Hou Wenjun nodded in response with a smile and walked up to Chen Jichao, saying, come here, let's have a chat. He then walked towards the other side of the rooftop. After seeing no one around, Hou Wenjun handed a cigarette to Chen Jichao and said, do you want me to die? Go by and grab it. After lighting his cigarette, Chen Jichao took a deep breath before continuing, I know you're going to Causeway Bay alone tonight to talk to Big B about numbers. The formation here is just a bluff. I've also figured it out. If Big B dares to touch you without morality, I'll take someone to do him tonight and offer you his head as a sacrifice. This is our final preparation, you're safe, I won't move. Asterisk asterisk asterisk, are you just not optimistic about your boss? If I die, I will go. If I lose something, don't use anything, you know. Hou Wenjun shook his head as he looked at Chen Jichao. After listening to Hou Wenjun's words, Chen Jichao smiled and said, I'll lose it tomorrow. I'll talk about it tonight when it's safe. I'm afraid the note won't make it through tonight, Hou Wenjun continued to advise Chen Jichao. I'm not afraid, I'll hide out now with Big Head and Big Head. I won't show up until tomorrow. I'm leaving, be careful tonight, don't let me get in. After ignoring Hou Wenjun, Chen Jichao turned around and called on Big Head and Big Head to go downstairs. Watching Chen Jichao and the other three disappear as they walked away, Hou Wenjun cursed, idiot, in a low voice and walked back to the rest of the little brothers. Tonight, Guantang is very lively. Not only are there so many thugs on the street, but there are also many more police officers in Guantang. In the conference room of Guantang Police Station. Huang Sir, we have found out. Tonight, these people were brought up by a guy named Hou Wenjun in Guantang. This is Hou Wenjun's information. New Detective Liu Jianming hurriedly handed over the information he had just collected to his supervisor, Inspector Huang Jicheng. Huang Jicheng received the materials handed over by Liu Jianming expressionlessly and glanced at them before continuing, what's going on? A guy Hou Wenjun hasn't even heard of, can gather thousands of people. What are the ingredients of these people? With whom? Hou Wenjun was with Ma Wanbo before, and most of the people who came this time were Ma Wanbo's former subordinates. This time, the chicken farm was swept, so he should have led the team to help in Wanchai. Liu Jianming's information collection was relatively detailed, and he could easily answer Huang Jicheng's question. What does this guy usually do? Why did he suddenly come out? It said that his subordinates bought 4 ***** this morning. What does he want to do? Just take out Big B and Chen Yaoxing. This young brat doesn't understand the rules and it's too troublesome. Xiao Lu, please bring him back to inquire about the situation. He won't be allowed to go out in less than 48 hours. Huang Jicheng pointed to a section of the information and said. Huang Sir has crossed the sea to Causeway Bay alone. Do you want to catch him now? I heard that this guy has been making all the recent replica clothes, bags, and so on. Liu Jianming quickly stood up and said upon hearing Huang Jicheng's words. Brain eating. Alone. Going to Causeway Bay is a bit interesting. So let's not catch this guy for now. I hope he understands the rules, otherwise there will be another big fight tonight. Xiaoxin and Ajin, go and keep an eye on him. Don't let him cause trouble, YSIR. Please use your military uniform to disperse these guys. Everyone else, go out and collect some wind. I want to see what this guy is up to. Huang Jicheng said after lightly tapping his left hand on the table twice. Yes, sir. After Huang Jicheng finished setting up, all the police officers in the conference room stood up and saluted, answering. In the private room of Causeway Bay Daxing nightclub. Ah June, what's up with having such a big battle to see me today? Big Shot B sat in the middle of the sofa, holding a draft beer, and asked Hou Wenjun standing in front of him. Brother B, what are you talking about? If it weren't for Liang Kuan's bastard back then, would have been with you long ago. Those people from Guantang would have gathered to go to Wanchai to pick up Chen Yaoxing's miscellaneous farm. However, Uncle G is getting old, so at least leave some space for him to retire. Although surrounded by the Big Shot B's people, Hou Wenjun still said with a smile on his face. Do you want me to stop? What is your identity? Ah June. A prominent figure in ethics who values seniority was very angry at Hou Wenjun, a young man who came to talk to him about numbers. To put it simply, Hou Wenjun was not qualified enough, even if he had gathered thousands of people in Guantang. Brother B, Uncle G is old, and Brother Bo has been dragged by the cops. There is no one under his command. I don't want to speak for him again as a junior. I'm afraid he will go down to sell salted duck egg in the next 2 days. Now Tongluan to Daking is your territory, and you have the upper hand. Let's leave some bars in Zhadian Mountain for his retirement. Brother B, I know you are not the kind of person who will kill all of you. Hou Wenjun was not angry at Big Brother B's harsh reprimand, still speaking with a low posture. Boss B didn't speak after listening to Hou Wenjun's words, just looked coldly at him. After a minute or two, he continued, June has a promising future. Today, I'll give you face. If I don't drive him away, I'll give you the bottle of cola that Liansheng gave you back then. Thank you, Brother B. That's all for now. I also want to talk to Brother B about some business matters. Do you know what business Anan is doing with me? Anan and I are also good brothers and would like to ask Brother B for help. Hou Wenjun was extremely satisfied with the answer from the big shot B. As for the incident where Liang Kuan played against him and Chen Haonan on the football field back then, he actually forgot about it. He didn't have the ability to be beaten back then, and not long ago, Liang Kuan killed Chen Qi from Jiandong and went to jail. He really doesn't have much interest in retaliating against Hou Wenjun. Liang Zai has a brain, take care of Anan more in the future. I will help him with your business with Anan. Big Boss B also chuckled and took a sip of the beer in his hand. Hou Wenjun also knew it was time for him to leave now. Okay, I won't disturb your entertainment, Brother B. I'll flash first, and I'll go to Wan Chai to pick up Chen Yaoxing later. Watching Hou Wenjun leave, Big Boss B felt deeply regretful. Back then, if it weren't for Liang Kuan, this younger brother who was even better than Chen Haonan, he would have received his subordinates long ago. He can summon thousands of people and horses in one breath, but still put his identity so low. Hou Wenjun is brainy. However, Chen Haonan is also good and loyal to himself, at least in this aspect. He is much stronger than this little slippery guy. Big Boss B felt relieved as he thought of Chen Haonan while drinking the beer in his hand. At least one of the two most outstanding young people in the entire Guantang area was his own younger brother. After leaving the nightclub, Hou Wenjun got into a taxi and said, North Point Ferry Terminal. He took out his phone and called B Zai. B, get ready to take action, let Four Eyes do the work too. Without waiting for B's answer, he hung up the phone and called Blowing Chicken. Hey, Uncle G, I'm June. I just talked to Big Boss B and we'll do our best to sweep Chen Yaoxing's field tonight. My people are coming over now. Blowing Chicken was surprised to receive a call from Hou Wenjun. To be honest, a younger brother suddenly came to report that Hou Wenjun had gathered over 1,000 people in Guantang. After hearing this news, Blowing Chicken, who had been beaten up a bit, thought of what Hou Wenjun said last night. This made Blowing Chicken see the rising hope again. The leader Ma Wangbo was pulled by the police, and another Hou Wenjun appeared. It seems that heaven never dies for me. Okay, June, I'll run errands. You go to Wan Chai and we'll fight on both sides. Tonight, we'll defeat the guy surnamed Chen all at once, Chuiji said excitedly on the phone. Here, he also cleverly instructed Hou Wenjun's people to fight the most difficult part of Wan Chai, and to play relatively easy horse racing on his own. Hou Wenjun chuckled when he heard the boastful words and didn't mind how clever he was even now. He replied very happily, okay, Uncle Chicken, I'll listen to your arrangements. After hanging up the phone, Hou Wenjun continued to call Chen Yaoxing. Hello Xing, I'm Hou Wenjun from Guantang. I'm calling to talk to you about something, Hou Wenjun said politely over the phone. Oh, it's Brother Hou. I heard you're gathering thousands of people in Guantang. What kind of care do you have? Chen Yaoxing's tone on the phone was full of provocation. Daren't, Xing Gu. Just now, I talked to Big Boss B and asked him to let go of Uncle Chicken when he's old. B Gu also readily agreed. Now, I don't know where to put the thousands of people on my end, so I want Xingu to give me a way to go. Hou Wenjun said rudely on the phone. Wan Chai is so big, let's take a stroll. How about it? Rotten handsome, are you ready to come and take a stroll? Chen Yaoxing remained provocative. Alright, since Xinga has invited me, I'm going to take a stroll anyway. Originally, I called to ask Xinga to let go of Uncle Chicken. Since Xinga is so interested, I'll go visit the Wan Chai night market. Hou Wenjun knew that although Chen Yaoxing's words were provocative, the two of them couldn't fight anymore. Strolling doesn't necessarily mean starting a business, you can also go in and do business. Hou Wenjun, what are the conditions? Chen Yaoxing also recognized the meaning in Hou Wenjun's words and asked very decisively. Hitting him alone is not enough to beat a boastful chicken. A skinny camel is bigger than a horse, and besides, boastful chicken has the help of Hou Wenjun. Jiudian Mountain is for Uncle Ji to retire, so don't beat the remaining half of the Happy Valley. How about that? Hou Wenjun said his request without hesitation. Xinga, the convoy has set off and will cross the sea in 20 minutes, Hou Wenjun urged. If the convoy really wants to cross the sea, it will be difficult to control the situation. People are on the side of Kowloon, and even if the police come to pull, most of them can escape. There is Victoria Bay in the middle, and Hou Wenjun doesn't believe this group of people can swim over and start fighting. But once they cross the sea, these guys have no idea about their plans and are likely to evade the police before running over and starting a fight. Thousands of people have dispersed, making it difficult to gather. How are you going to end up with such a big mess? Chen Yaoxing had some doubts about Hou Wenjun's behavior. He had to know how to end it, as it was a horse drawn by 1,000 people. Call the police and pull yourself, Hou Wenjun replied with a smile. Haha, Hou Wenjun, you're such a good person. My people don't know how to cross Juan Street, so I don't care about anything else. Chen Yaoxing laughed twice before continuing to say, he couldn't help but admire such a guy. I reported to the police myself, but I couldn't fight and didn't lose face. After negotiating with Big B, his future status in the martial arts world also improved. Coupled with his A-level business, Hou Wenjun was very clever. Thank you Xinga, I'll call 999 first. I'm not sure if we'll have the chance to have dinner together and talk about business next time. Fighting and killing are not suitable for us. This incident was finally resolved, and Hou Wenjun took the initiative to show goodwill to Chen Yaoxing. Okay, I bought 2 of your Yunga's A-goods today. Chen Yaoxing is also willing to make friends with such a promising guy, mainly because he doesn't value his territory, and the Changle territory he built in Guantang has been entrusted to someone else for management. In this way, the two will at least not become enemies before there is a huge dispute of interest. Thank you Xinga for taking care of my little brother's business. Let's have a chance to chat after dinner. Hou Wenjun put away the phone, although his face was still smiling, his eyes became even colder. Xiangjiang tigers do have a set of tricks, I don't know what about that tiger that is called the Sharp East Tiger. From the reactions of Kushuiyang and Lao Nyo today, it can be seen that almost all the goods have been scattered, and only the Jiandong area has no one accepting their own goods. This place has a dense population, abundant night markets, and more importantly, there are many tourists from all over. Hou Wenjun doesn't want to give up this oily place, and if there is a chance, he also wants to see this sharp eastern tiger. Chapter 8. Snake Tale. You are listening at novelfull.audio. At night, due to the four-eyed police report claiming that some people were carrying weapons, a small bus convoy of nearly 700 people, claiming to be over 1,000 to the public, but no one really counted how many people there were, was stopped by the police and dispersed. Among them, 30 to 50 unlucky people were arrested by the police for various reasons. 36 people need to be released on bail, each with 3,000 yuan, illegal gatherings, participation in organized crime activities. Just releasing these people on bail cost Hou Wenjun another 100,000 yuan. Fortunately, tonight's ultimate goal has been achieved, with both Big Boss B and Qin Yaoxing agreeing to make peace and boasting about half of the Happy Valley and Zhejian Mountain. As for his goods, they are still unobstructed in the territory of these two giants. A fierce battle has come to an end, and Hou Wenjun can now focus on making money. Of course, the consequences of doing so are also obvious. Although he has risen to prominence among the younger brothers, the real big shots are not afraid of such brain-eating factions, and you dare not really do it. Jiandong Entertainment Group is a recently established company with 5 shareholders, each of whom is a leader of 5 major clubs. The group is managed by Axe Jun, who is known as the King of Jiandong. This is the only company in Hong Kong composed of different clubs. However, Jiandong's entertainment industry is indeed too developed. There are only a few nightclubs in Jiandong, with over 100 bars, food and accommodation. Even if we calculate the annual revenue of nightclubs, we cannot afford it. A large nightclub has at least 200 tables, each with 3 ladies, and at least 10,000 drinks per night. In addition, there are several nightclubs of this scale, and with other income, the entire Jiandong area earns billions of dollars in annual profits. As the head of the club, Axe Jun certainly didn't like a small A-grade business anymore, until he received a call from his friend Qin Yaoxing in the club that night. "Youngda, I have reached an agreement with the bragging chickens on my end. Without Hou Wenjun's support, the old ghost probably won't be able to start a fight. I want to thank you for this matter. Over 1,000 people came to Wan Chai to support me in just one call," Qin Yaoxing said happily over the phone. "Indeed, from now on, the entire Wan Chai area and half of the Happy Valley will be my own territory, and it will remain the same. In the future, as long as these areas are well guarded, there will still be tens of millions of dollars per year. My old friend came, tell me this. Is that little ghost Hou Wenjun very secretive? It quickly gathered thousands of people and horses, causing you to urgently borrow troops from me." Axe Jun asked with a smile. "Brain eaters, except for you, Jiandong, who is selling his goods all over Hong Kong now. He is also a little kid who knows how to advance and retreat. Today, I also bought some of his goods bags as gifts." Qin Yaoxing's tone also revealed a hint of relief. "Damn it, with such a big club boss buying grade products, are you ashamed to lose them? We're making so much money, why don't we do it ourselves?" Axe Jun had a hint of excitement. "Anyway, I just started a lot of business here, and there's still a lot of work to do. Business can't be done alone. I advise you not to do it either. Just put the little devil's goods in and sell them, and it's not difficult to make money." Qin Yaoxing refused Axe Jun's proposal. On the one hand, he was indeed very busy, and on the other hand, he really believed in the future of Hou Wenjun. Making money by eating brains is always easier than fighting and killing. In the future, he also wanted to unite with Hou Wenjun if there were financial opportunities. Yes, he also saw Axe Jun's Jiandong Entertainment Group, which can be considered as a way out for the scale and collectivization of the club. "Okay, I'll also sell this little devil's goods and come home to have a meal in a few days. Your sister-in-law's soup is pretty good." Axe Jun could hear Qin Yaoxing's intention to maintain it, and he also wanted to see if Hou Wenjun had the ability. "Okay, I'll hang up first. There's still a bunch of bad things waiting for me to deal with." Qin Yaoxing hung up the phone as he spoke. Axe Jun held the phone for a while and whispered to himself, "Hou Wenjun, it seems that there will be another handsome brother in the martial arts world after tonight." At the same time, Blowing Chicken also received news that Hou Wenjun's men and horses had been pulled by the police. "Bastards, hello Qin Yaoxing and Hou Wenjun," the angry boaster cursed loudly at the two of them in front of the little brother in the room. Hou Wenjun's person was swept by the police. If we hadn't reached an agreement with Qin Yaoxing, the guy across from him would have come over long ago. He knew that he had been completely tricked tonight. At the same time, Suan, which was still relatively remote in 1985, also received news of Hou Wenjun blowing his whistle tonight. He gathered over 1,000 people in one breath to prepare to cross the sea and declare war on Chen Yaoxing and Hongxing's boss B. Big D, is Hou Wenjun's A cargo yard still moving? Long Mao, who was eating supper with Big D, heard the news from the next table and asked Big D sitting next to him. The D was also surprised to hear this news. Originally, he saw that Hou Wenjun's A-goods business was doing well, and he was planning to take advantage of himself as a local snake in Suan to get a share of the pie. However, the face-saving Big D still stubbornly said, "Why don't we move? What are we going to eat after we don't join in Suan? This damn place doesn't even have a decent nightclub. Why are these guys earning millions of dollars? I only have tens of thousands of dollars to support you, you bunch of jerks." Big D, it's not good. If it gets angry with Hou Wenjun, it'll be troublesome. Look at this guy. Long Hair was about to persuade a few words when Big D interrupted him. "You're afraid, so don't mess around. Help me arrange a meeting with Hou Wenjun tomorrow, and I'll talk to him." Big D's mouth stiffened, but in fact, his figure softened. This kind of big shot who gathers thousands of people with just a whistle, he really can't afford to provoke him. Huang Wenbin and a group of people in the village house of Kuiqing are also talking about Hou Wenjun. Although Kuiqing is also very remote, Huang Wenbin and his team have a much faster collection speed than the D and others. Almost all the younger brothers are constantly reporting the latest developments on the phone. "So, thousands of people have been dispersed by the note, and I don't think we can start tonight," said the volcano to the crowd after putting down the phone. After thinking for a moment, Huang Wenbin interjected, "I don't think this guy Wenjun has any intention of starting a war. Tonight, he's just pulling us over to support his negotiations. I don't know what the outcome will be, and I don't know if I can bring back my field," Lai Piqiang said with some concern. After hearing Lai Piqiang's words, the deaf man burst out laughing and said, "Lai Pai, are you really stupid or fake stupid? Do you still want your place? He just called Wenjun and agreed that it was a braggart, and your place is none of his business." As soon as the two of them started arguing again, they immediately reconciled and said, "Forget it, Ah Chang. We definitely won't be able to get back the occupied venue, but Def, your venue should be preserved. I think there are probably only a few small bars on the Zhejian mountain left in Wanchai now. Let's talk about what to do in the future." Upon hearing these words, Huang Wenbin immediately began to gather the crowd and said, "I must be in Kuiqing now. I think it shouldn't be a problem for deaf people to occupy half of the racetrack. Volcano, Xiangzi, *******. Why don't you just come to Kuiqing? Who is dumber than anyone here? Come to Kuiqing to be your little brother. I'm planning to continue working on the periphery. Are you interested in participating?" Lai Piqiang also plans to stand on his own. Upon hearing Lai Piqiang's words, the volcano sneered and said, "What about the periphery? Lai Piqiang, you probably won't even think about it in the next few years. I'm planning to venture into Mongkok. Have you heard of 9 striped dragons? Volcano, are you going to cross the line with him? You've figured it out. You're not a teenage thug anymore, and you're also the boss. Where are you going to go with him? Where are our faces facing?" The deaf man, who had always struggled with the 9-striped dragon, immediately stood up and loudly objected. "Idiot, I'm going to talk to Uncle Chang, talk to Joan Dragon." "Are you stupid or am I stupid?" the volcano joked. Huang Wenbin furrowed his brow again. It seemed that Bo Ji's defense had dissipated after this incident. "The D, why did you come to talk to me?" Hou Wenjun, who arrived early the next morning to see the goods in Suan, was invited by the D to a tea restaurant outside. "Ah Jun, after all, you are also one of your own people. It's not good for you to do business on my territory without saying hello to me, right?" Big D said with a gloomy face. Hou Wenjun yawned before continuing, "What are you doing? Big D. Are you jealous of my A.goods business? I'm a fair person, and you can participate if you want. The rent, equipment, and manpower for the storefront are 900,000 yuan. How many floors do you want to occupy? 900,000, damn it, if I have hundreds of thousands and still look for you, I'll just do it myself. The D murmured inwardly, but his face remained gloomy as he said, June, I don't care about your business. Anyway, in Suanwan, you should count me as the D. This is the mindset of the Black Shooting Society, intentionally making a big mistake, so Hou Wenjun doesn't like to do business with these people. Hou Wenjun chuckled and burst into a frenzy at the D, why don't you just call yourself De Lien instead of De Lien? You can do whatever you want based on your big face. If you dare to touch my A.level talent, I'll play you to death every minute. Don't think I don't know you're a fake, and if you provoke me, we'll just slap and scatter. If you want to do it, it's not that you're not allowed to do it, but you have to be reasonable, you know. Big D took a strong breath and said, what conditions? How much do you want to share? 100,000 yuan per share. Hou Wenjun chuckled and said. After hearing Hou Wenjun's words, Big D thought for a moment. Actually, before coming, Big D knew that he had to pay money to invest, and he also prepared 100,000 yuan. However, according to Hou Wenjun's algorithm, what's the point of using 100,000 yuan to occupy one layer? So he still said forcefully, if you buy 100,000 shares, why don't you go grab them? Grass, if you don't give me 3 layers, you won't be able to do business in Suanwan. This is the downside of brain eating. If it were really good yesterday, Chen Yaoxing would not dare to talk to himself like this even if he were giving Big D 10 courage today. Hou Wenjun was not angry either. After chuckling, he said, Big D, it seems you want to play with me until it's too low. Following Hou Wenjun's words, he immediately stood up with his close brothers Chen Jichao, Bi Zai, and the two. And the long-haired person on the other side also gathered around with a dozen or so people. Obviously, Big D still has an advantage. After looking at his younger brother, Big D lazily said, June, others are afraid of you, and Big D is not afraid of you. If you don't pay today, you won't be able to leave Suanwan. Hou Wenjun's face also darkened. Big D, it's useless for you to be aggressive here. If you have the guts, go to Jiandong and make a move. I can't leave Suanwan. Big D, I'm going out now. I don't believe you dare to touch me, and I even told you that you're not allowed to touch my business. In your place, you must ensure the safety of my venue. Otherwise, whether you do it or not, I will kill you. The last 3 words Hou Wenjun repeated word by word, staring at Big D with a fierce light flashing in his eyes. After speaking, Hou Wenjun didn't care about this brainless Big D and walked out of the tea restaurant with his little brothers. Big D and others could only watch Hou Wenjun's back walk out the door until it disappeared. Big D, what should we do? Long Hair turned to Big D and asked after seeing the person leave. The gloomy face of Big D ignored Long Hair's words and secretly swore in his heart, I want to dominate Suanwan as a Big D, and in the future, all business in Suanwan will have my Big D. Let's wait and see. P.S. Big D dare not touch Hou Wenjun because he is a fellow disciple. If he cuts off his fellow disciples for no reason, he will be punished by the club. Secondly, Hou Wenjun's power is truly amazing. It is also false to say that Big D is not afraid. Of course, Big D does not know that most of Hou Wenjun's so-called 1,000-person horse racing is borrowed. After dealing with the local snake De D in Suanwan, Hou Wenjun led Chen Jichao and De Tu to Wan Chai. Chen Yaoxing's invitation made it hard for him not to go for a stroll. At 3 p.m., Hou Wenjun stood in front of an old building in Wan Chai with Chen Jichao and others, watching a group of company employees wearing suits and ties carrying out demolition and persuasion work. Hou Wenjun picked up the milk tea in his hand and took a sip before saying to Chen Jichao, can Liansheng receive it by relying on such a group of guys to collect the building? I'm afraid he'll lose a lot of meat. Chen Jichao was a bit puzzled as to why his boss suddenly mentioned this, but he still replied, "It's always like this, what's the solution?" "Of course there's a way, let me go collect them faster than these scattered eggs," Hou Wenjun chuckled. Chen Jichao looked at his boss, his mind filled with question marks. Without explanation, Hou Wenjun directly instructed him, "You go and explore the bottom of these residents, remember that it's for each household, the more detailed the better. Also, if you are willing to sell a house, you can help me collect a room, and the price is not a problem." "June, are you moving to Wan Chai?" "This is my dream. I have my own big house in Wan Chai, but I don't need to buy this kind of old building. At least I need an elevator apartment." Chen Jichao said, somewhat puzzled. Hou Wenjun patted Chen Jichao's shoulder but remained silent. He handed Chen Jichao the milk tea cup in his hand, indicating that he should return it to the tea restaurant behind him. "It seems that the members of the club are quite useful, fourth uncle. I'll help you." Hou Wenjun secretly calculated to himself. After wandering around Wan Chai for a while, Hou Wenjun immediately returned to Guantang. Upon returning home, he locked himself in his room and began to consider the feasibility of this matter. Just as he had some inspiration, he was interrupted by a phone call from Qin Yaoxing, known as the Tiger of Wan Chai. "How are you? Are you still happy after spending the whole afternoon strolling around my Wan Chai?" Qin Yaoxing said with a smile on the phone. "Xinggu, it's just a stroll. This has also alarmed your elderly family. Is the management of the venue that you have obtained going smoothly? Don't misunderstand, I really want to ask. After you settle it, I have business to talk to you." Hou Wenjun responded with a smile. "What kind of business is it? We need to wait until my business is settled before we can discuss it. Even if you bring 100 kilograms of goods, I can still scatter them for you, Qin Yaoxing." Qin Yaoxing on the other end of the phone clearly misunderstood something. Hou Wenjun quickly explained, "Brother Xing, it's not as you think. Anyway, when you finish working on Wan Chai, let's talk when you have time." After that, Hou Wenjun hung up the phone and continued to think about his situation. On the other side of the phone, Qin Yaoxing had originally heard his younger brother report that he had seen Hou Wenjun wandering around Wan Chai. He called him to ask, but he didn't expect Hou Wenjun to hang up his phone after saying something brainless. Qin Yaoxing is not angry either. He has been busy with a lot of things lately. Seeing how mysterious he is, Qin Yaoxing also wants to wait until he has time to meet Hou Wenjun's business. Chapter 9. Business. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After experiencing the experience of 1,000 people riding horses, Hou Wenjun's life was very low-key, with very few people even going on the streets. He spent most of his time in front of his house, listening to intelligence collected by Chen Jichao and others, analyzing the resident information of the old building, and checking the information of Li Hengji and his Henderson land. He knew he was being targeted by the police. After all, Huang Ziqing from Guantang police station must have been very busy after creating such a big situation. He didn't listen to his subordinates saying that this guy fell into Mong Kok. Now what is the name of the new anti-gang leader? Hou Wenjun himself also forgot. For Hou Wenjun, if it is not necessary, he does not want to use his so-called club identity, but rather hopes that everyone will see him as a businessman. To be a businessman, one must have their own business, and Hou Wenjun is well aware that his goods business cannot last long. Now, all he needs to do is seize the time to make money. His real business is still a clothing factory, but he has already targeted the mainland market that few Hong Kong people dare to touch now. With a billion-dollar business, it is still stronger than Hong Kong, a city where people can only cross a few million. Ping Ping and is another month, during which Hou Wenjun woke up every day with a smile. It's not because there's a big shot named Huijuan in the martial arts world, mocking him as a replica of Axe Jun, and secondly, he himself is also a big expert in Hua, but because in this month, his A.Hua business has reached 18 districts in Hong Kong, and he has sold nearly 6 million goods in just 1 month. I don't need to pay the company for my own business, which is a pure profit of over 2 million yuan, like Qin Yaoxing and Big Boss B, who have land. They need to pay most of it to the company every month, and the remaining money needs to be raised by myself. Hou Wenjun, whose business has been booming, is no longer satisfied with his current scale. He asked Uncle Chiu to pass the exam and go to Shenzhen, where he plans to build a large clothing factory with over 3,000 employees. In Hong Kong, he persuaded the bosses of over a dozen small garment factories that helped him produce A-grade goods to jointly invest in his new company, Jinli Group. With the human resources of these small bosses who have been working in the Hong Kong garment industry for more than a decade, Hou Wenjun is very confident that his new company will definitely help him make big money. P.S. Hou Wenjun invested 10 million yuan himself, with 13 small clothing factory owners each costing 500,000 yuan and Uncle Chiu costing 1.5 million yuan, creating a new company with a total scale of 18 million yuan. Hou Wenjun's 10 million yuan was deposited into the company's account in 3 installments, with an initial payment of 2 million yuan. Next month, the profit from the goods will continue to be invested, and currently, with gold everywhere in Hong Kong, 10 million yuan is a small amount. Hou Wenjun expects that by the end of this month at the latest, the police will carry out a large-scale sweep of goods in the market. He is also preparing to have the bosses suspend their business here to help build a new factory in Shenzhen after production is completed. After Shenzhen is completed, he will come back to see whether to continue producing goods. Of course, his Jinli Group will definitely not engage in these A-goods businesses. He plans to standardize the operation of this company and bring the fashion trend from Hong Kong to the mainland. Just as Hou Wenjun was having breakfast happily at Changji Tea Restaurant, after 11 a.m., Big Head hurriedly ran in. "June, it's not good. Li Pengzi, the spokesperson of Hongqing North Point, and Hua Fo, one of the big shots from Liansheng, on Bolan Street are not allowing our goods to enter the market. I heard they have found a source of goods themselves." The Big Head brought Hou Wenjun some good news. What kind of mischief is Flower Buddha doing? He also touches his own business. Chen Jichao said angrily upon hearing Big Head's words, "As for business, we don't have any patents, so you don't even let others follow us. It's too domineering, right?" Hou Wenjun chuckled and scolded Chen Jichao. Although Hou Wenjun also cares about the business in North Point and Bolan Street, he is even more unhappy about Chen Jichao's mentality of eating alone. "June, I won't say anything about the North Point, but at least the Flower Buddha is still his own person," Chen Jichao said angrily. "Let him do it, what's the deal? Do you still want to dominate all 18 districts in Hong Kong? It's not bad to be able to eat solo food for a month, you wait and see. Starting this month, other places will slowly find their own goods." Hou Wenjun still ate his breakfast calmly. Just as he finished speaking, his phone rang. "Hello, I'm Hou Wenjun, please speak." Hou Wenjun wiped his mouth before slowly answering the phone. "Ah June, I'm Chen Yaoxing." "You're too gentle, right? Please explain," Chen Yaoxing joked with a smile. "Hee, Xinga, hello. When doing business, you need to have a business attitude. Xinga is calling now, what kind of care do you have?" Hou Wenjun returned with a smile. "I received the news that your goods are not selling well recently," Chen Yaoxing said without answering, directly pointing out the theme. "In terms of business, everyone has to do it to show that the market is good. I heard that Mr. Li's closure in Wan Chai was not very smooth, is Xinga interested?" Hou Wenjun said perfunctorily before turning the topic to the recent big news about Li Hengji's renovation project of old buildings in Wan Chai. "Li Sheng, this is a big business. Do you still want to go and seek death?" Chen Yaoxing said on the phone with some displeasure. Hee, Xinga misunderstood. "Of course, I don't have the qualifications to touch Li Sheng's business. I think Xinga and I can still do it. Hou Wenjun said calmly. What are you doing? June, you made it clear to me. Chen Yaoxing immediately became interested, and it would be great if he could establish a relationship with Mr. Li. As the fourth uncle of the top 10 tycoons in Hong Kong, just a little bit of leakage from his fingers is enough for Chen Yaoxing to eat for half a year. Why is Liansheng feeling the most headache now? Hou Wenjun asked with a smile. Help him collect the building. Chen Yaoxing remained silent for a while before continuing. Are you saying we should send someone to help him collect the building? It's a good idea, but aren't you afraid of being left behind by me to work alone? Hee, Xinga, if I tell you that I am also one of the owners there, you won't be angry. In the afternoon, as one of the representatives of the owners, I scheduled a meeting with Liansheng. Are you interested in going to his company together? Hou Wenjun chuckled and continued. Ah June, you're a brain eater. Our two brothers are filming together, and I, Chen Yaoxing, will support you. Chen Yaoxing's tone on the phone became excited. Okay, let's meet Xinga downstairs from his company at 2 p.m. this afternoon. Remember to dress formally and let's go discuss business. Hou Wenjun hung up the phone after making an appointment with Chen Yaoxing and continued to eat his breakfast. After hanging up the phone on the other side, Chen Yaoxing appeared extremely excited. Fourth uncle, Hong Kong tycoon fourth uncle, he actually had the opportunity to talk business with him. Who and who? How am I dressed today? Do I need to change clothes? Forget it, let's change clothes. Come and accompany me to Central to buy clothes. Chen Yaoxing asked his little brother who followed him for half a day, but still felt unsatisfied with the clothes he was wearing and suggested buying a new one in Central. Hou Wenjun didn't notify me earlier, so I had time to choose a shirt to match well. Laugh at it. Do you know who I'm going to talk to this afternoon? Hong Kong tycoon Li Hengji. Damn it, I've been a short mule for over 20 years and I still have today. Chen Yaoxing was a bit excited now. By the time Chen Yaoxing and others arrived in Central, it was already almost there. After thinking that 2 p.m. was the agreed time, he complained again, damn it, Hou Wenjun didn't notify me earlier. Chang Mao, aren't you usually good at boasting? Give him back, the car god. I even have one hand faster than you. At 2 p.m., when June arrived at Mr. Li's Hengji group downstairs and met a group of people including Chen Yaoxing. I said Xinga, what are you doing? I asked you to dress more formally, but you don't have to do this, do you? Hou Wenjun looked at the guy in front of him with a big head. He was dressed in a black Armani suit and accompanied by a white shirt, which was quite stylish, but what happened to the black tie on his neck? See fourth uncle, of course you need to dress more formally. Look, this Rolex I just bought is not bad, it cost me 300,000 yuan. But why are you dressed so casually? Didn't you let me dress better? Chen Yaoxing looked at Hou Wenjun's clothes with some dissatisfaction. I, the representative of a small homeowner, came to see Mr. Li in a dress of over 300,000 yuan. Take off your bow tie and untie the first button of your shirt. It's a bit more casual. At least you're also from the Tiger of Wan Chai. You're really a god who doesn't eat human fireworks. I'm afraid he knows more about your information than you do. Hou Wenjun, dressed in a casual suit, said with a smile. Of course, he wouldn't tell Chen Yaoxing that his casual suit was specially handmade by Uncle Chiu and his team. Damn it, didn't you tell me earlier? How's the business going? How much do we want him to pay? Chen Yaoxing continued without getting angry. I don't know, we'll have to talk before we know. I haven't done this kind of business before. You should be my god. But I registered a Jinli real estate company to develop this project, and you will be the project manager of the company in a moment. As for how we should divide, let's talk to Liansheng. Let's go up a little earlier. Hou Wenjun then led the way into the Tycoon building located in Central. It was said to be a negotiation, but in fact, the two of them were not qualified enough. Mr. Li only gave them 3 minutes, and the contract was also very simple. They completed the collection of 10 million yuan within a month and 30 million yuan within a week. For someone who is truly hundreds of thousands per minute, saving over 20 days and paying an extra 20 million, he earns more than Hou Wenjun and Xiangjiang. In a private room of a bar in Wanchai, Hou Wenjun and Xiangjiang sat opposite each other. More than 200 households, more than 50 refused to move. It's not easy to handle, Jun, Xiangjiang said with a slightly worried expression. The money seems to come in at 30 million yuan per week, but he can wait until he hears the information provided by Hou Wenjun. Don't worry, there are more than 30 families in these 50-plus families who have children and women. You just need to let your younger brother do things and be careful not to cause trouble for Mr. Li. Among the remaining dozen or so families, 6 have club backgrounds, which is also easy to handle. The remaining 7 families will have their doors locked and buildings blocked from coming out, with water and electricity cut off. Those who don't move within a week will starve to death, Hou Wenjun said with a smile. Upon hearing Wenjun's words, Xiangjiang immediately became quite happy. This guy was indeed very clever. Okay, Jun, I'll send someone to handle the matter right away. We can make a profit from this 30 million. Okay, Xinggu, we've made some money. Let's talk about our account sharing issue. Even our brothers need to be clear about our accounts. The source of this 30 million yuan must be right, and those who need to pay taxes will only get over 24 million yuan. If you contribute, let's split it into 4 or 6 parts. How about you take 14 million yuan and leave? Hou Wenjun continued to smile. Jun, isn't that good? How about we split it equally? Xiangjiang said with a hint of embarrassment. He didn't feel embarrassed about anything else. He wished he could finish the 24 million yuan alone. Don't worry, brother Xing. If anyone still refuses to move, it's inevitable that they will be killed. You should take more, Hou Wenjun said with a smile as he looked at Xiangjiang. For 4 million yuan, even if I buy 10 lives, I still make half of it. Jun, what do you think about organizing a company specifically? Xiangjiang thought even more. Forget it, Wanchai is okay. Can you give it a try, Jiandong? And the big shot, can you count how many old buildings you have in Wanchai? Not to mention, one building is worth 10 million, that's your worth, over 500 million. Don't be too greedy. Be careful not to spend your life. Alright, Xinggu, I'll leave first. Let's have a meal together to celebrate someday. Hou Wenjun felt a little disgusted with Xiangjiang's greed, but still smiled on his face. Speaking, Hou Wenjun ignored Xiangjiang's unhappy expression and walked directly out of the private bar room. 500 million. Haha, I'm afraid you won't be able to hold on until the Wanchai renovation is completed. After leaving the bar, Hou Wenjun thought to himself. And Xiangjiang in the bar was also very dissatisfied with Hou Wenjun. After waiting for Wenjun to leave the private room, he cursed in front of his subordinates and said, asterisk 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 asterisk, this guy has earned 10 million from me. Let me take the stage, don't you, lousy grass. However, he also knew that Hou Wenjun was quite good to him. At least during the negotiation, he called out to him and asked him to take a share in the middle. At least we didn't wait until we finished talking and just say hello to him before taking action ourselves. Yes, Xiangjiang also knew that Wenjun could do such a thing without him. If I don't know the market situation, I'm afraid I'll be very happy if this guy sells 2 or 3 million yuan afterwards. The golden age is everywhere, and this is the first time Hou Wenjun has seen a real tycoon in Hong Kong. How far away he is from them. 10, Chapter 10 Cocktail Party. You are listening at novelfull.audio. I posted a chapter yesterday. Sorry, friends can go and take a look. Chapter 8 is about numbers. This book has been published for 4 days now, ranking from 90th to 48th in the Urban Newcomer Author ranking. Thank you for your support to Dewey, and I hope to have better results next week. This week, I would like to express my special thanks to my book friend. Book friend 1511031853100099, Cold Moon Berries Flower Soul. 2 classmates gave me tips. Please continue to support this book, collect and recommend it. Thank you all. Liansheng, this is the agreement document that all the residents in that building have agreed to relocate, Hou Wenjun said honestly, standing next to the dining table of the 4th uncle. Li Hengji glanced at the document in Hou Wenjun's hand and said to him, the younger generation has the ability, sit down. He wiped his mouth with a napkin on the table before taking the document from Hou Wenjun's hand. Hou Wenjun obediently pulled out his chair and sat on the seat opposite Mr. Li. Li Hengji was very satisfied with Hou Wenjun's performance, not only his attitude, but also his speed in collecting the building. In less than 5 days, all residents agreed to the demolition agreement. I'll call you June, don't you mind? Without waiting for Wenjun's answer, he continued, in the afternoon, you can go to my company to handle the procedures, and the money will be credited to your company's account today. June, you have skills, and I prefer to deal with talented young people. My old friend Guo first took care of a piece of land in Guantang, and you can help him explore it, right? P.S. Guo Sheng here is Mr. Guo, the founder of New Hongji Real Estate. Not the later Guo brothers, Mr. Li and Mr. Guo jointly founded New Hongji. As soon as Li Hengji finished speaking, the assistant standing on his left handed over a document to Hou Wenjun. Hou Wenjun quickly opened it and glanced at it before continuing, no problem, Liansheng. Li Hengji nodded in satisfaction and continued to eat his lunch. Hou Wenjun also knew that it was time for him to leave. Li Xian, if there's nothing else, I'll leave first, Hou Wenjun stood up and said. Well, there will be a cocktail party at the Liansheng Hotel tomorrow night. You can come and take a look, and Lao Guo will talk to you in person. Remember to come to our company this afternoon to handle the procedures, don't let me down. Li Hengji looked up at Hou Wenjun before continuing. At 3 p.m., Hou Wenjun was happy to leave Li Xian's company. With this 30 million yuan in his pocket, Hou Wenjun had greater confidence in Mr. Guo's land. Hello, Xing Gu, come to my company later. Yes, let's split the money. Hou Wenjun left and called Chen Yaoxing, saying that for 30 million yuan in 1985, buying a mid-mountain mansion is not a problem. Hou Wenjun first went to the bank to make up for the remaining 8 million in his Jinli group, and then set aside 14 million to open a separate account. The remaining 8 million Hou Wenjun plans to use in his next plan. The 7th floor of Guantang Qingda Industrial Building is the newly opened office building of Jinli Group by Hou Wenjun. Bizai will go downstairs and pick up Chen Yaoxing later. Ji Chao, come with me. Hou Wenjun walked into the office area of Jinli Group headquarters, which was less than 50 square meters and still filled with goods, and ordered the few people who were left behind. After entering his exclusive 5 square meter general manager's office, Hou Wenjun instructed Chen Jichao about his next plan. In the afternoon, take someone to touch the Yanqingye Street and Jingye Village. Hou Wenjun did not tell Chen Jichao about his next plan, but as one of Hou Wenjun's confidants, Chen Jichao immediately understood that Hou Wenjun had made another big move, probably related to building closure. The resident information of the old building in Wanchai was collected by Chen Jichao and his team. Upon hearing Hou Wenjun's words, Chen Jichao immediately returned and said, no problem, Jun, but there are so many neighbors here that it may not be easy to handle. After hearing Chen Jichao's words, Hou Wenjun didn't speak, just smiled and glanced at him. Okay, Yunga, I'll go right away. Chen Jichao understands the power of Yunga's smiling tiger too well. If he wants to scold you, it shows that he truly thinks so. If he says it to you with a smile, then he knows what he's plotting against you. After Chen Jichao took people out, Hou Wenjun began to look at the document that Li Xian gave him at noon. Nearly 9,000 square meters of land can be used to build at least 6 or 7 houses. Guosheng has such a big plan. Developing residential properties here is not feasible, and he may still need to use it to build industrial buildings. However, building industrial buildings is far less cost effective than building residential buildings. Guosheng's approach may have deeper implications. That's right, Hou Wenjun looked at the map of Hong Kong and began to ponder the purpose behind Guoxian's actions. The new territories. Yuan Long. Before Hou Wenjun could figure it out, Chen Yaoxing brought his younger brother to Hou Wenjun's company. Xinggu, please sit down quickly. Bizai will go and brew a cup of tea for Xinggu. Hou Wenjun welcomed Chen Yaoxing into his office and instructed Bizai outside. Don't worry, Jun Li Xian, are you satisfied with our ability to handle things? Chen Yaoxing asked excitedly. It seems that this guy still can't forget his 500 million yuan, and this guy who made a joke is really serious. Although he felt a bit disgusted in his heart, Hou Wenjun's face still smiled and said, Li Xian is very satisfied with our performance, otherwise you wouldn't have paid so happily. That's good, as long as Li Sheng is satisfied, Chen Yaoxing said happily. In this way, my reputation as the Tiger of Wan Chai has had some influence in these wealthy circles, and in the future, the old buildings in Wan Chai will lose my share. Chen Yaoxing is still daydreaming about his 500 million yuan dream in his heart. I can't blame him for being too greedy. The 500 million in 1985 is not worse than the 10 billion now. Of course, he is very eager. Alright, I won't talk much about Xinga's idle talk. Here is an employment contract I found a lawyer to get. If you sign his check, it's yours. Remember to pay taxes to the government, Hou Wenjun said with a smile, taking out the documents and check. This document is a formal commercial contract drafted by Hou Wenjun through a lawyer's office. Chen Yaoxing and others are considered employees of his Jinli Real Estate Wan Chai Project Department, and this 14 million is their compensation. Ah Jun, are you still in such trouble? Chen Yaoxing said with some displeasure. Brother Xing, business is coming, so it's better for us to be more formal, Hou Wenjun still advised with a smile. The underworld talks about business, Ah Jun, Chen Yaoxing picked up a pen from the table and murmured as he looked at the contract. Xinggu, I'm not a gangster, you need to figure it out. When I do business, you can only say that my business is a bit gray, Hou Wenjun said with a smile. Damn it, why did you think you were the first to achieve government licensing? Chen Yaoxing counterattacked casually. You're really right, why did my idol come first? Lao Pianman has obtained a government license for exclusive operation. Alright, if there's no problem, you can sign it. This is the employment contract I drafted with a professional lawyer, there won't be any details. Hou Wenjun urged. Damn it, if you don't say it earlier, I'll be watching for a while. I know I can't understand English, right? Although Chen Yaoxing still had some dissatisfaction, he quickly signed his name. What about brain eating? If he really dares to do anything to him, Chen Yaoxing is not afraid of Hou Wenjun eating his brain and killing him every minute. After dismissing Chen Yaoxing, Hou Wenjun continued to think about Guosheng's business. Even if he couldn't get a piece of the pie in the future, he still needed to understand how these upper-class people do business, otherwise he would always be in a passive state when dealing with them in the future. Holding the invitation letter Li Xian gave to the banquet yesterday, Hou Wenjun smoothly walked into the largest banquet hall in the earliest 5-star hotel in Hong Kong. Hundreds of men and women were chatting or dancing inside, with almost no connections, and Hou Wenjun, who didn't bring any women to this kind of party for the first time, didn't face an awkward problem. He became a headless fly among these hundreds of people. Fortunately, in the buffet area, Hou Wenjun met two idiots like him, and the three idiots quickly got in touch. One is in finance, the other is actually a police officer, and the other is a member of his club. This can be considered a strange combination in high-end cocktail parties. Ma Rixin, who works in stocks, if you have any questions about stocks, you can come to me. Here is my business card. As he spoke, Ma Rixin took out his own business card and handed it to the two. Hou Wenjun took Ma Rixin's business card and glanced at the vice president and senior investment advisor of Rongda Securities, who was not very clear about the financial industry. He was immediately taken aback by this prestigious title. Quickly reaching out his business card and handing it to the two with a smile, he said, "Little brother Hou Wenjun, do some small business. Please advise me." On Hou Wenjun's business card, there are equally tall names written as Chairman of Jinli Group, General Manager of Jinli Real Estate, and Chairman of Jinli Clothing. After hearing the name Hou Wenjun, another person who had not yet announced his name glanced at him and picked a disdainful tone, saying, "Are you Guantang Hou Wenjun? I am Li Wenbin, the Chief Inspector of the West Kowloon Serious Crime Unit. I apologize for not having a business card for my family." When Hou Wenjun heard him say Guantang, he knew that this guy had a clear understanding of his own secrets. He smiled and roundly said, "Nice to meet Li Sir. What's the matter? Just recognize you, Ma Xian." Ma Rixin also smiled and agreed with a few words before chatting with Hou Wenjun. "Hou Sheng is so big at a young age. Jinli Group, forgive me for being clumsy." Hou Wenjun didn't feel embarrassed after hearing Ma Rixin's words, but still explained with a smile, "For small businesses, clothing factories mainly face mainland China, while real estate companies only open up. I just added a title to myself." As soon as Hou Wenjun finished speaking, Li Wenbin immediately took over the conversation and said, "Hou Xian is really humble. With just a whistle, over 1,000 people will come forward and make us police officers busy. Are you still doing a small business?" It was evident that Li Wenbin's tone was full of provocation. Hou Wenjun chuckled and explained without getting angry, "Hee, Li Sir is joking. I have such great skills, but it's just a small business." Just as Hou Wenjun was about to say something, Li Hengji's personal assistant walked down the aisle and said, "Sorry to bother you, Hou Sheng, Li Sheng and Guo Sheng, please come over and chat." After hearing Li Hengji's personal assistant's words, Hou Wenjun nodded and said to the two, "I'm sorry, but I'll go over and it's nice to meet you both." He then followed Li Hengji's assistant to the reception hall outside the banquet. Being able to invite two of the top 10 recognized Chinese billionaires in Hong Kong to join him immediately made Ma Rixin take a high glance at Hou Wenjun and develop a strong interest in this new rich man, even though he is a curious young man. So what? If you have money, that's all. There's still a chief inspector standing next to you, and even if you don't have money, you can still scatter. Ma Rixin began to converse with Li Wenbin, mainly to inquire about news about Hou Wenjun. Similarly, Li Wenbin's heart also stirred up waves. A little over a month ago, Hou Wenjun, a name he had never heard of, suddenly blew a whistle in Guantang to summon thousands of people to cross the sea and prepare for his old top-boasting chicken to fight against Chen Yaoxing and Hong Xing's big shot be in the new record. At that time, he was highly regarded in the club, and when both the black and white sides thought that a young big shot was about to rise in the martial arts world, he quickly kept a low profile and almost disappeared. At least in the past month, Li Wenbin has never heard of this name again, and he doesn't want to see this guy again at the banquet he accompanied his foreign boss to today. He has become a guest of honor for the two billionaires, Guo and Li. Li Wenbin also wants to know what this guy has done in this month, and what kind of company is Jinli Group, clothing and real estate. Although Hou Wenjun is rolling around in the Guantang area and not under his control in West Kowloon, Li Wenbin's intuition tells him that this guy will eventually set foot in the most lucrative area of Jiandong in Hong Kong.